Hey.
Hey.
Whoa.
I love the new intro, but was it cutting out for you guys, or it was cutting out on me? But
no, it was fun.
The lead up was great, and then I don't know if my internet was. It was. No, I was like, I was already like, get into it, and then it kept cutting in and out.
It sounded fine for me, but normally it cuts out for me.
I'm afraid I don't have enough piercings though for that theme music to work. Although I have applied for a job as an assistant manager at a Hot Topic, so maybe that will work for me later on.
Oh man,
awesome!
I hope you get it.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, congratulations.
I listed you as a reference, so
I'll be expecting the call. Yeah.
Wow. Hey everybody, are we here?
Hey everybody, Johnny Beans.
I think we are here.
Hello, Straturday Night Live, John BL program.
Welcome.
I just love that every week. It's John BL's program, but he never gets a word in.
I'm taking after Johnny when he, when it's your show, you don't say anything.
Oh, it's like Matt Damon on Kimmel.
Yeah.
Never gets to be on.
Yeah, that was the joke when he was first starting that. Yeah. Hello, everybody. It's May 23rd, 2020. It's midnight Eastern, exactly. 9 o'clock out here. It's still Saturday. Straturday.
The sun must still be up out there.
It's just gone down. Yeah.
It just went down.
Yeah.
It just went down just now. But yeah, welcome, everybody. And thank you to our executive producers. We got Charles Green, Robbie Johnston, Music Therapy Lads, David Ennis, Thomas Santiago, Mike Neese, Connor Johnson, 5150, Michael Smith, and some Dave Dude. Yeah, the captain.
Captain.
Thank you. Producers. All right.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. And if you want to be a channel member, if you want to be one of those executive producers, click the join button down below. And this is on YouTube. I should mention we're live on YouTube and Facebook. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can sponsor these videos.
That reminds me, I should share us on Facebook.
I should do as well.
Yeah, everybody.
Why not? Let's get the night started off here.
Why not? Why not?
Let's see how many extra viewers you get. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Somebody didn't mute.
Yeah, so welcome you guys. And yeah, that music that you guys heard, that's something I did today. Actually.
Yeah, that was cool. I enjoyed that intro.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of writing. And it's great because I'm writing literally on a keyboard. Like I'm playing, all the synthesizers are on here doing this. I'm not using.
Do you have a regular? You don't have. Oh, really? You don't have a. You don't have a controller, a MIDI controller.
I do, but not for the MacBook. No. So I'm literally writing, going like this on the W and the D and the F and the G. That's how I'm actually.
Oh my goodness, stuff. That's like Guitar Hero for, synthesizer.
What would be great? What would be great is if the keyboard laid out like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and those were the and then you had like a way to using the numbers button to change the octave. You know what I mean?
They used to have a Commodore 64. Used to have a keyboard you could lay on top of the Commodore 64, and it would do exactly that. It would like press the right keys, but it was the piano layout.
Yeah, my point being, just your notes, whatever notes there are on this, with the 12 notes of the scale, you punch them up on the keyboard and they correspond to the program.
Yeah.
So that all you have to do is know, like if you're a musician, hey, this is in B. You go, okay, well, what notes are in the B scale or whatever it is, that key, you just do it on the keyboard instead of having to figure out the QWERTY stuff.
Yeah. Well, actually, I'm using Logic Pro X, the newest one, and I'm learning it. So I'm like writing this stuff while I'm learning how to use the program, because I've used different programs for decades. And actually, what you do is when you show the keyboard on the screen, you have to see the little keyboard on the screen to be able to play. Otherwise, there's no sound. Right. And when you see it, it kind of shows you the layout, and so it kind of says, what notes or what keys,
Oh yeah.
But you can't push R because R is record. So if you're jamming, I've gotten lucky a few times though, where I'm like writing something, like trying to figure something out, and of course I'm playing like this. This is how I'm playing those songs. And I'll hit the R accidentally and not realize it, and I'll start recording and not know it, and realize, oh, that was kind of cool. Now I got to record it. Oh, I just did. It's there. So that's cool.
Always be recording.
Yeah, but just little pieces of music, which is perfect for this stuff,
Yeah.
I used to use Acid a lot when that was a thing.
The program.
Yeah,
I hope so.
Yeah, trust me. You don't want me on hallucinogens. But yeah, which was great because obviously it's all sampled and it's all math and you just lay everything out. I think I have 2 sample discs, one that came with it and one called Methods of Mayhem or something like that. And it's like, that's like sort of electronica, EDM crap. But it works great for accent music and stuff. And I still have the program somewhere. Like it's, Windows 10 is way more advanced than what that was originally written for, which I think might've been, I don't know, Windows 3.1 or something like that.
Well, that's what
I think I remember some of those early programs, early kind of looping programs, and
like Fruity Loops.
And I did a whole bunch of stuff for those things that are just they're fun because it's all royalty free.
Oh, they were real fun, yeah.
Yeah, we're all royalty free, so you don't have to worry about screwing with somebody's copyrights or anything like that. Which has become a huge issue now with the advent of all these streaming shows such as yours. People using copyrighted music. I mean, it really exposes how little talent there is out there. As great as the talent is, there's for every one fantastic guitar player or one fantastic musician, there are dozens who suck out loud. Guilty as charged.
Well, same here. I'd say I suck, but I could make a good recording if I needed to. I could certainly put together a good demo if I worked at it for full time for a couple days.
Last night I got I put a buzz on and recorded a version of Norwegian Wood that I posted.
Nice.
Yeah, it was fun to do. Just get the tracks off of some karaoke bed and then just lay some vocals down and layer it and have fun with it.
Yeah, even just running like a drum track in GarageBand and playing along with it in a rhythm track. Like Logic Pro and all those, DAWs where you can, get the different instruments and everything. I mean, there's so many libraries of all of that stuff.
All the MIDI stuff. I'm still here, by the way. Yeah, the MIDI. I mean, that's something that's, it's pretty new to me. Although I've been into it for probably a couple of years now. But it's still new enough where it's still very new and very, very exciting, and yeah, like that track you heard. I'll play it again if you guys want to hear it again. Basically what I'll do is I'll start with drums. I'll start with just some drums, and then I'll do some sort of a synthesizer or something. And a lot of the times I'm changing the sounds as I go along. So it might be the same part, but the sound will have changed over and over and over in the process of working on the tune.
Well, it's something you want to laugh. I mean, you're talking about how MIDI's been around for a long time, obviously, and it's just new to you. I'm in my local record store today, and I saw in box like an old Fostex or Tascam, I forget which one, analog 4-track cassette recorder, and they wanted $130 for it.
Yeah.
Apparently that stuff is now
it's coming back.
It's become a thing again. I was shocked. Yep. I was shocked. And it wasn't new in box. Like this was vintage, like 35 years old, 40 years old. And they want $129.99 for this thing. I was like, wow, you got to be kidding me. I've got an old Fostex X26 sitting on a shelf that's been there untouched for like 2 decades.
I always wanted one of those 4. I mean, back in the '90s, that's what, the best we could hope for. As a garage, a backyard musician, that kind of thing. And
yeah,
I never got a 4-track, but eventually, it was all on the computer. So by the early 2000s, you could have unlimited tracks and with a simple.
Still not the same though as an analog though.
I did the 4-track thing for a long time, which actually I've said this, before. I'm actually running through a Tascam. That's how my microphone is running through a 4-track into my computer. That's how I'm actually doing this. So I could actually, that's why I've got cassettes sitting here, because I could actually play these, through this.
Right. Yeah. I could do the same thing. I've got a mixing board that I've got my line out from several different audio sources, satellite dish, all that stuff that can go into this little mixer, this tiny little, I think I showed you before, the little RCA audio selector that you can get at Home Depot for $6.
Yeah.
But you run all the the RCA ins into it, and you're ready to go.
Yeah.
And I guess we could do the same thing. We could fire all this stuff up and run it, and then of course get the thing shut down because we're using copyrighted material.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But that's how I completely rigged up my home studio.
That's cool, man. Yeah. And I'm, because I've been doing YouTube for years and years, and I know exactly what, is allowed and what isn't. And I'd much rather write, like that thing you just heard, something that's brand new, which is mine, which I can use anywhere.
Right.
And play it all I want. And the cool thing is using it for something like this, we got how many people sitting here? We got 71, 72 people sitting here watching this. I can play something and it instantly gets like tons of it'd be considered views, tons of listens. Exposure.
Yeah.
Impressions
is the word you're looking for.
Impressions. There we go.
Well, you'll have to play it, and in the chat they'll give their impressions.
I'll play it. I'll play it right now, so you guys.
Because like I said, I only heard parts of it, but yeah,
you couldn't. Yeah, here. Let me say hey to IJII Productions. Thank you for the $2. Huge isotope sale.
Yeah, it's spam. He paid $2 for his commercial.
Oh no, isotope is an actual thing.
I know. I'm just goofing.
Isotope is an actual. It's
like an atom. It's like a part of an atom or a part of a nucleus or something. Isotope.
Yeah.
An electron or a neutron. Yeah.
I'm actually looking to use isotope. Actually,
aren't those the gloves that Dan Marino used to put? Oh, that's isotoner. Shit.
Oh.
So close.
But here, I'll play that music again. Let us know in the chat if you guys can hear it okay, because I know it was breaking up for John Biel, and that happens to me sometimes here, and I'm just like, yeah, I'll play it real quick. Yeah, I just did this today. I just wrote it and recorded it today, so it's brand new. And let us know in the chat if you can hear it and what you think. And here it is. Jay, we could act like we just started. Hey, everybody, we're live.
Jay joined us.
Jay's here.
Take 2.
Oh, we can't hear him though.
All right, there you go.
There you are.
So I fire up Facebook to get the link, right?
Uh-huh.
And I see you guys. The first thing that pops up is Johnny's page. So it has the thumbnail has the video going. I can't hear anything, but all I see is your 3 beautiful faces on my computer, like on the Facebook thing, right? So I close Facebook and go to YouTube. I click the link to go to this first, right? Then I click on YouTube and I go to the show and it's a thumbnail and music playing. And I'm like, did I just go through a time warp or something? Like they were just on. It says they're live on YouTube, but I was like, what?
I think I did something like that with the Billy Sheehan video because I came in a little late and it was like, I thought it was the beginning, but then I was like 20 minutes behind. And then I finally realized it.
Well,
but I wasn't live on the air. I was just watching as a viewer.
Well, I'm saying it was live on Facebook, and then by the 10 seconds that it took me to open up the YouTube page,
you jumped over.
It was jumped over to the thumbnail, and I thought I went back in time.
Yeah, no, I was just playing that for everybody. That's something I just did today, and we were talking about.
That's pretty cool.
We're actually talking about music production, which is what I've been wanting to talk about. So
I'm also talking about that.
This is actually pretty good. Yeah, I want to start like a dedicated show to talking about production and recording. And
Johnny, I just sent you a link to the first thing I ever did with acid.
On acid or with acid?
No, with acid. The
I know that's the same thing I said earlier.
And it's one of those, goofy. I was like, okay, let's do this 4 times, this 4 times, and this 4 times. And it's got, the vocal samples and all the goofy shit that kind of comes with it. And you just do it for fun. And then you go, well, I wonder if this is going to sound okay. And then you throw it out there to see how people react to it. But like that thing that you just did, I do feel like Snake Plissken was making his way through New York.
I thought it was pretty cool, man.
No, it was
very cool. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, there's songs that you actually sit down, you actually write. That's something I wrote like on the spot. It's like Jay. I was just telling these guys, I don't have a MIDI controller for my MacBook Air, so I'm not using this. I'm using the Mac, but I'm sitting here like I'm playing a video game, but I'm actually playing a keyboard.
Wow.
That's how I played that.
Yeah, you need
that's
a controller.
I know. I got to figure that out. But yeah, it's all MIDI. Oh, there you go. It's yellow though.
It's old. Yeah, it's an old M audio.
Vintage white.
20 years old.
Yeah,
Michael.
You got to retro bright the keys. That's what they do with those old computer, hardware and stuff. Like an old Mac or something like that. They retro bright it, and instead of it yellow, it comes back to the old kind of off white.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the M audio stuff. That's great. But
don't you have like an old synth, Johnny? Didn't you have some kind of keyboard that you were using, but it wasn't a MIDI or?
I've got a Univox. I've got an old Univox. It's right here. Right? Yeah, it's from the 70s. It's right here. It's that's cool. In my desk. I don't know how I can explain that, but the problem with it, I've used it for years. But it's what's the term? You can only play one note at a time.
Monophonic.
Monorhythmic.
Polyphonic.
Poly would be more than one.
Okay, whatever the term is. So you can't play chords. You can't play chords, and so it's great for leads, but there's no chords.
Like an old Moog.
You could use the iPad. Like, is there an app you can download on the iPad that looks like a keyboard, a shortened keyboard? Sure. And then you hook that into your computer and use that as the MIDI controller. There's got to be something that does that, right?
I've used that for years as well. But playing the piano on an iPad kind of sucks because you never hit one note. You're always like,
you're
hitting.
There's at this record, the record store that I told you about, they keep like they take in like used gear and stuff like that. And I literally saw a one of those old like 64 key keyboards, the old school, like, I don't know if it was Yamaha or whatever it was, Casio, that you could used to be able to get at Sears for like $29. And I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Throw the headphone line out.
Well, yeah, that's all you need.
That'd be
if it was made after 1985, it's got MIDI, so Johnny could hook it up to anything. If it's made after whatever 84, 85, when MIDI.
Say the word, Johnny, and I'll go get it tomorrow and mail it to you.
Get a Casio SK1 sampling keyboard. That was my first keyboard Oh, it was the coolest thing. It took like a 2-second, you hit the sampling button on the top right, yellow button, and it recorded, had a little microphone. You don't know how many times I farted in that thing and recorded it. I about blew it out. It had that typical Casio song back then, remember that one?
No, I don't remember the Casio
demo.
Well, the best part about it was
Mr. Softy coming through your neighborhood.
You can hit the demo button with whatever was sampled. So you don't know how many times my parents heard.
Oh yeah,
farting.
And now look at you.
I know, man. Still the same. Still the same.
And Johnny, you've been practicing piano a lot, haven't you? So you must be doing pretty good on a keyboard.
I played a recital.
Yeah, so you got to get someone. We got to get Johnny a keyboard.
I had to play the intro to Love Walks In. Remember that? I had to learn that and play it.
Yeah, you played it for us. Yeah,
in front of people.
Nobody wants to see you play keyboards, man.
You're a guitar player, man.
Johnny.
Yeah, that's funny. I really like the keyboard stuff. I think it's great for writing, and it's a break from the guitar too.
Isn't your birthday coming up? We'll have to get you that way. You have to get Paul, get him that keyboard for his
next
birthday.
month.
Get him that keyboard. We'll all put $3 in on it. And that was one of the only classes I actually passed at Framingham State College was Introduction to Keyboards, because I minored in music. Well, I tried to minor in music till they threw me out the second time, and I so I'm there, and there was those old like those old electric pianos that sound like shit, but they were like, it was like a room full of like 12 of them, around in a little area, and it had the old Proctor with the headphones, and he could just turn a dial, and figure out which keyboard player was. So we're all supposed to be practicing the C major scale.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to play Music Box Dancer, that old song Music Box Dancer, the doom 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 doom. And I'm trying to, and my hand position isn't correct, and I'm trying to do this, and I hear in my speakers, that's not the assignment. I'm like,
that's funny.
Wow.
I had to do similar when I was in early some of those early music classes.
Yeah, put it back where you leave it, right next to the computer.
Where you had to tap out the rhythm.
He took that out of the kitchen.
That thing is stiff as a board, wasn't it?
No, that's not
well used.
It's soft and lovely. And if I hold on to it, he'll attack me with it. So I better put it down. Yeah, he took it out of the kitchen because I've been in the pool all day, so I had this like sitting over a chair.
I just watched Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Don't forget your towel. If anybody knows,
he did get my thumb pretty good though when he tried to snap at me. He got me earlier this week too. I don't know if you guys can see that bruise.
Yeah, I remember you said that earlier. Yeah.
Oh
gosh!
my
Got me earlier this week, pretty good.
How's your friend there? Didn't she get a bite last week? Yeah.
Yeah, she's all right. She lost a chunk of her hand, but she'll be okay.
She lost a lot of blood.
She did lose a lot of blood. It looked like a murder scene in my kitchen for a while.
God.
Oh my gosh.
Ace, come on, buddy.
Are you done? Are you done? Or are you going to attack me? All right. Good talk.
Oh man.
Johnny's looking very pink today.
It's my gel. I'm using an orange gel.
Were you in the sun for like 10 hours?
Yeah. No, it's really not.
I always look yellow.
It's really not me. I'll change it. Yeah. Let me change it because it really isn't.
It's not me.
It's not me. It really isn't. I know. I am too orange.
It wasn't a pick.
No pick.
No
pick. No pick.
No. What's the pick? Is that you guys doing anything for Memorial Day or anything?
No.
No barbecuing. No.
I would go to my parents. That we might do a little something over at my parents. But
that's kind of what I meant. I didn't mean if you were like
small group. No, I mean, yeah, just a cookout maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll make some time to pray.
That's right.
I can't wait to get
time for the Lord.
I'm gonna go to the food store tomorrow and grab some burgers and dogs and beers and Coke.
That's always a good idea. Shopping the Sunday before Memorial Day. That'll go well.
I got to do it. I got my parents, Jeannie's parents. They're coming over, so I got to get stuff. I'm
trying to.
Where do they come from? I know you said your parents aren't too far from you. Where Jeannie's parents come from?
Back.
Jeannie's parents are literally on the same street as us.
Oh, okay.
Like, I don't know, 15, 20 houses down.
Yeah.
But the cool thing was when they moved down here, in 2000 and what would it have been? 2016. They're looking at houses, and a house went up for sale near us. So I was like, just go look at it anyway. And they're like, they kind of didn't want to move that close to us which is cool, but they liked the house better. It was a better deal. And they said, Jason, are you okay with us moving literally right down the street on the same street? And I said, as long as there's none of these in the middle of the day or whatever, like, hi, What are you guys doing? None of that shit. Don't just go up out of nowhere. And they've been great, man. And it is nice, having your in-laws or parents, even if it's your parents, like on the same, like that close to you, especially with a kid.
I'm sure, yeah.
It helps out a lot, Cool. So, and my parents are like 15 minutes away, I think. 15 minutes.
That's the way. I mean, my family, aside from my parents and where I grew up, about 15 minutes away, the rest of my mother's side of the family is within a mile of where I am right now, and a couple of them, just I can see their houses from here.
Hey,
so I moved back. I moved back to my mom's.
See their houses from there. You're looking out the window.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is I am lucky to really get along with my in-laws, which a lot of people aren't very lucky. I love hanging out with them and seeing them. And my parents get along great with them. It's like it literally is a shindig every time we all get together.
Shindig, you say?
Shindig, hootenanny,
dinchig.
That's cool. I mean, that's better than being horrible.
I know. And we all, if it's not us, we all know somebody that has that. Like my fucking mother-in-law is coming over.
Families
today.
that just can't get along.
Yeah.
That's why nobody knows, all the people I know, like in real life.
Nobody knows the people that I know.
Like even my friend that I know, down the street, he doesn't know where I live. Because the last thing I want is somebody knocking on my door, hey, Johnny, I'd have to put pants on, You
just say, don't ever do that again.
No, nobody knows where I live. Nobody does. And so that's
Johnny, you're really a man of mystery.
He is really.
About you. I am unknowable.
He's an enigma.
He's in witness protection.
I don't know much more about Johnny now than I did, a couple weeks after hanging with these cats. I know a few things, but he still holds his cards close to his chest.
This is pretty much all you get.
Yeah.
No, I remember when I first met him, I asked him, "So, what do you do for a living?" He wouldn't tell me. I'm like, "Where do you live?" Wouldn't tell me. I'm like, what the? like I'm some stalker on the internet. I'm gonna fly.
That's his universe right there. You see his universe, and that's pretty much it.
I'm gonna fly from Phoenix to wherever he is in parts unknown California.
And what's really strange, Johnny, and I gotta tell you this. Usually, like the more you talk to somebody, the more you get to know somebody. Like things about private lives just tend to like naturally come out, right? They just do. It's never. That's not like I try, but it never gets to that point where like we'll be on the phone or something, and it's like
you hang out.
None of us four have ever met, right? None of us four have ever met like personally, right? So I mean, it's like I don't know the guys that have seen Johnny at NAMM or have hung out with him personally if there's any difference, but
no, I mean in
Michael
real life,
Smith or somebody.
Well, yeah, Michael Smith. In real life, I don't talk as much. You guys think I don't talk on here? I don't talk at all in real life to anybody, like hanging out.
Well, like a one-on-one conversation. Like, I mean, when you guys were all having that dinner at the restaurant during NAMM, like, would you have a side conversation aside from all the other big conversation going on, like one-to-one by someone who's just I mean, that's kind of the way I am. Like, I'd have
what you saw in the video was exactly how it was.
What? Michael Smith and Mancuda talking about New York pizza for 20 minutes?
Yeah.
But I'm sure there were like 10 other conversations going on at this. I mean, obviously.
Yeah, but that was the only one that was audible to me when I was watching the live feed. It was like almost like watching a movie. You know how you hear the background chatter, but you can't make any of it out. It's just background noise. And then you hear the main conversation. That's what that was. It was just a bunch of chit chat.
There was no main conversation. There was no main conversation at that thing. It was,
Well, you try talking over Mancuda.
Chaos, yeah.
Not while he's eating, because he eats. He's just eating. Yeah, that was fun though. That was good times. But what? I don't know. No, I've had so many weirdos and stalkers over the years, and so.
Well, when you're that good looking, it happens.
Exactly. I mean, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Don't I know? Why do you think I have killer dogs?
Killer.
Yeah, and I've got a rooster. Which is a rooster. Really is like a guard dog. Really is.
Yeah, no, they're vicious.
Mm-hmm.
I know that the hens have their house. Does the rooster like live in the same house as the hens, or?
Oh yeah.
Or did he have his own? I don't know if he had his own apartment or whatever, but
no, he's got his spot, and they're all right there with him.
Yeah, his harem. What are they?
His harem.
Yeah, roosters and geese. Geese are also really, really mean.
Mm-hmm.
And believe it or not, swan. If you get a swan, there were swans.
Don't cross a swan.
There were swans at the Boston Public Garden when I was a kid, and the thing would
big ones.
Yeah, they would just hiss at people constantly. They were not having it.
People riding on their backs and stuff.
So who would you rather have, or who would you not, out of those three, who would you not want coming after you at the park?
A rooster, a swan, or what is it? What are our choices?
Or a
penguin?
A goose.
A rooster.
Really?
Roosters have what do you call
spurs, them? Talons.
They're spurs.
Or the spurs.
When they come up, and he got me in the leg one time, and I still have a scar from it. They have spurs. He broke a spur off, jabbing me in the
cork.
In the foot. What do you? In the calf. In the foot. Whatever you call the ankle. I've got a thing. I've got a yeah.
Let's see it.
Rooster scar.
A rooster scar. Bent Tom. Johnny, what were you like as a kid? I still am, so I'm the same. Also, John BL, can I get a go F yourself?
No, it's an F.
Maybe later. Maybe later.
Yeah, later. It's too early.
Later. It's too early. Yeah.
Too early for the F offs.
Was it F off or go F yourself? Which one is it?
I don't know.
It's a go F yourself, isn't it? It is. That's my favorite part of the show now. I can't wait till we go off the air so I can see it again. Hey, Jason,
I do have an unboxing tonight. We can do a quick one. We'll do it earlier than later. It's just
man. Good. It's been a long time since I've done an unboxing, so or had it in the title.
What is it? It's 12:32. We'll do it at like 12:45, or if we get around to it. We'll do a little countdown.
That's in 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We'll do it earlier than later.
If we get to it.
You're really making them sweat, aren't you?
That's in 10 minutes.
Unless we go off on another topic, I guess that's my point. Or if we go off on something else.
I want to talk more about recording. And I'm serious. I actually want to have a dedicated show to recording and production and
that's what I'm always I'm not a great musician myself, but I do like behind the scenes stuff. I've always been, videography, audio mixing and that kind of stuff. I've always been into that. Recording. Just like, I mean, Paul was talking about that old, Radio Shack kind of mixer. I used to have like the RCA, the DJ mixer from the 80s. Like that was my first mixer. And I remember trying to make a recording with my band at the time, in the early 90s through RCA, line level mixing. And hey,
you ever seen one of
made
these?
It work. Is it a Zoom?
It's a Zoom little recorder.
Yeah, I got my Tascam up.
What,
there.
everybody has one?
Let's see your field.
Oh, you got one of those. Oh, cool. Yeah, this runs on what do you call it? Little, yeah.
Basically a field recorder. Look at the inputs. Wow.
Ooh.
Welcome to Nerd Talk.
Yeah.
But I mean, basically, you could master an album on one of these things because it's just a 2-track. Well, I mean, it's a 4-track, but I mean, you could put 2 tracks at 96 kilobytes or something. The highest audio quality. Jay knows better the
192
how that all
now.
works.
192.
Yeah. It used to be.
I don't know if this does that or how high it goes. But.
I used to take the 4-track, the old Tascam, or I think I have a Fostex X26. I would take the 4 tracks and then mix them down to 2 tracks when you only had one digital recorder, like it was like a Roland DM80. So you would do all your 4 tracks, you'd mix them down to 1 track on the DM80, which was also a 4-track, and then do 4 more tracks, put them on another track, and it was basically old school, kind of how the Beatles used
bouncing.
to make records.
Yeah,
but not necessarily bouncing so much, but mixing here and putting as much as you could onto one tiny little track. And then you take all of those and record them back into the 4-track. Now you're bouncing back and forth.
I remember doing that with 2 tracks.
But you don't lose any quality at that point, because that's the problem with bouncing on a 4-track is every time you repeat it over, you lose a little bit of quality.
Yeah.
So mix it out digitally, and then you mixed it back in at a line level so that you got a heavy enough level, and tried to you jammed it all in these tiny little tracks, and that was the old ghetto way of actually making a decent record for no money. Took forever, but that's how the Beatles did it.
Oh man, I love that.
How the Beatles did it. They would record tracks, bounce them, bounce back and forth, and these huge reel-to-reel machines.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, Sgt. Pepper is a 16-track. Think about that for a second.
16? I think it was 8. I mean, maybe they ultimately used 16 tracks, but they used 4 or 8-track recorders.
Yeah, and you take those, and I mean, your cell phone has more recording capability than with some of the greatest albums that have ever been recorded.
But not fidelity necessarily, because I mean, if they were recording a 4-track on a 1-inch tape, that fidelity is I mean, better than anything you can get today.
Yeah. This gets us back to digital versus audio versus analog.
You can get apps though. There's this one app that I got recently. I think on Facebook I saw a commercial for it, like before a video or a YouTube, and I'm like, oh, that looks cool. So I actually, I never click into the commercials, but this time I did because I'm like, this actually looks cool, and I actually got it. It's called Dolby On. Does anybody else have that?
No.
It's called it's just in the iOS store. It's called as in Dolby. Dolby On.
Thomas Dolby.
Yeah.
Cars.
Dolby,
Yeah.
And then what it is you instead of recording, like doing like an audio thing, whatever, you record the audio with the Dolby On app, and it actually sounds better.
Really?
It's a better sound. Yeah. Or that's what they
I never understood
anyway.
Dolby back in the day, because when you would hit the Dolby button, it like the tone would go down, or because I never had the right sound system for it. It muffled everything, so it was like I never used it.
It was a noise reduction,
right? But if I had known, like you can only use a Dolby cassette in a Dolby player.
Was it recorded in Dolby?
If it was recorded in Dolby, you hit the Dolby button and it does sound better.
It's a muffle maker.
Muffle me.
Anyone know the first film to be released with Dolby sound? First movie released with Dolby sound. Let's see if the chat knows.
Is it THX 1138?
No, but good guess. That is a good guess, actually. Around that same time. It's not Star Wars.
No, THX 1138 was its own movie.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying
it was filmed. It was filmed in the tunnels of
San Francisco
BART.
area.
Yeah.
Right. Let's see. I haven't got it yet. We got Star Wars, Clockwork Orange. Bent Tom got it. Clockwork Orange was the first film.
What does he win?
His Google worked fast. His search engine was faster than everybody else.
New John BL right there.
Congratulations, Droogie.
Oh, crap. Yeah.
I think, it was, and I think they just used it on like some of the dialogue because they recorded like live dialogue for a lot of the scenes. They didn't go back and loop the dialogue like a lot of movies did. So they basically just cleaned up the soundtrack with it. And also going back to synthesizers, that has
those movies sound terrible.
No,
you hear all the echo in their voices and stuff.
Oh, but are you the soundtrack? Wendy Carlos, who did the soundtrack for Clockwork Orange, do you know her story? His story? You don't know?
Do you?
Johnny,
you just said his or hers.
Yeah, exactly. Because his name was Walter Carlos. He had a sex change in the 60s, became Wendy Carlos, became a composer on like the first Moog synthesizers and stuff like that.
It's called Moog.
Moog.
It's Moog.
I say Moog.
That's Moog. That's not to be confused
Neil
with former
Neil
Boston
Peart.
Bruins goalie.
Andy Moog. Andy Moog,
yeah. But anyway, the very famous early Moog synthesizer user and switched on Bach. Have you ever heard of that composition? Johnny, you're doing all the synthesizer classes and stuff.
That was the yeah. Oh, wait a minute. I know who you're talking. Wait. I know who you're talking about.
I hope so. I know you've definitely come across.
I know exactly who you're talking about. She did the
Switched on Bach was her
Sebastian,
and it was Bach. It was a whole Bach done on a single.
It was all done on the synthesizer.
monophonic synthesizers.
It's sort of a Bach
track after track
meets Mozart, Pete. It's more
a
of a
Mach. Yeah.
Lick My Love Pump.
Mach.
Yeah, Brian Spalding. Wendy Carlos is a legend. I mean, she did the music for a lot of those. And that's her. I mean, that's her story. It was a Walter Carlos who had a sex change in the 60s and came back as Wendy Carlos, the composer.
You know, it would have been. I should probably shut up. But what if she was Wendy Carlos and wanted to become a man and named herself Carlos Carlos? That's what I want to see.
Well,
now that would be silly.
Yep. Why'd you do it? Why'd you have a sex change? Because I wanted the same first and last name. That's it. That's the only reason.
I just found out that both the Wachowskis had sex change. I had no idea.
Yeah, what was up with that, man?
I had no idea.
What were they? Twin brothers that had both changed into women. Man.
Yeah, it was.
Now they're twin sisters
and composers as well, right? Were they composers or directors?
They're directors. We were doing a joke on the show about Jennifer Tilly and Gina Gershon and Bound. So then I looked up a story about they did like a reunion where they had an article about discussing how that movie was so big and with transgender and all that stuff, and that the Wachowskis were men at that time and they did what? They both had transgender?
Did they do Matrix?
Yeah, that's the people that did
was the Matrix. Yeah.
Well, they both have undergone sex change operations. I was like, how about that? I guess you are born with it.
Wow.
You know?
Well, that definitely defends the case right there.
It's so amazing that both of them did that. I mean,
that's what I mean, I was shocked to hear.
Awesome.
I mean, at that time, but yeah, that definitely says, you're born with it.
I would say so. Which is, again,
like
who
Maybelline.
Cares? I mean, good for them.
Maybe it's Maybelline. Paul needs to turn his mic up 2 to 3 dBs. Now we're getting really.
Now we're getting old. Okay, well, that's because Jason McNamara is a sound guy.
Oh, was that McNamara? Oh, okay, there we go.
There we go. Now
First start at 2 dBs. Let's see what that difference is.
I can't do anything because I've got my Focusrite is pinned right now. I have to put a booster on the front end of it.
You also turned it up, but now you're moving the mic closer, so now it's like you know.
Yeah, I'll turn it down again. Here you go. There. Now, is that better?
No,
it sounded better in doubly.
Yeah, it sounded better a little higher.
Doubly, yeah. Fine. Here we go.
There you go. That's the radio voice I know and love.
Thank you.
Ooh.
Yeah, John Biel.
Yeah.
Are you there? Yeah. Yeah. Wendy Carlos did the soundtrack for Tron. The original Tron.
The Shining. Clockwork Orange, The Shining, Tron. Several others.
Tron
2, maybe.
Tron 3.
Tron 2, Electric Boogaloo. Yeah, I
Tron. Remember Tron Deadly Discs on the Atari?
Yes.
Remember Tron Arcade?
Yeah.
That was like the best video game of its time.
Yep. Remember Berserk for Atari, the 2600?
Yes.
That game was phenomenal.
Is that the one with like defending the castles or no?
Yeah, Berserk was kind of like Gorf.
The hell was Gorf?
Gorf on Golf? Or,
remember that?
Was it Gorf? No,
Dorf on Golf.
Dorf.
It was Dorf on Golf, but Gorf was. Let's see if I can find a.
I thought that was funnier than anybody else I knew. I remember showing it to people when I was a kid, and them not laughing at all, and I'm like, funny as hell. You feel like an idiot.
But that was funny. That's why it was funny.
My guess is Jay's edibles are kicking in right about now.
Oh, Rich Stetus asked, did these dudes all smoke some crazy strain of weed tonight?
I plead the fourth.
Right. And Bent Tom says, I finished the ET game on the 2600. You guys familiar with the ET game? The worst video game in history?
Tough to be worse than Adventure. Adventure sucked out loud too.
Oh, Adventure was great, man.
I got ET for Christmas that
I love
year.
Adventure.
And yeah, Adventure was those. I think that was actually like an Atari made game. I think ET was made from like an outside company, and they had like literally like 6 weeks to make it.
Yeah, it was like 28 days. And the reason why it's considered the worst game is because of the build-up, how many cartridges they made. And I mean, if you play it, I mean, it wasn't god awful. I mean, there was actually like
it had some of the best graphics of any of the 2600.
But that's now like the most valuable video game you can find.
There's a documentary of people digging it up.
Yeah, they buried it at the landfill. Yeah. Now, if you can find a copy of ET in the box, the original one, apparently it's worth a ton of money.
I had one. I don't know what happened to it.
Yep, I have one too. Indiana Jones for Atari was great too. Remember if you had the flute active?
Yeah.
That one board with the snake.
The snakes went right through you.
Went right through you. Yep. Now we're talking.
Pitfall.
I've never seen ET.
Oh man.
Never seen the movie.
Well, didn't they edit the movie? Remember, now it's like they have walkie-talkies instead of guns, right?
Yeah. They did several little changes like that. Spielberg. I mean, it was kind of riding on the heels of Star Wars when they edited all that again.
So dumb.
Nothing tops Blades of Steel. Blades of Steel was great for
Nintendo.
Yeah, and of course, Tecmo Bowl.
Oh,
honestly, I ended with the 2600. That was the last console I ever had.
What?
Activision
to this day, I haven't had another video game console. Computers, but not consoles.
Activision made great games for the 2600 when they started. Remember when they started making their own games?
Activision. My favorite game from them was River Raid.
Oh, great game.
Yeah, that one. And Jason Wade, thank you so much.
I think Pitfall was an Activision game. That was
Pitfall was Activision. Frogger.
You could tell because they had the different cartridges. Like they had Atari just had like
black with
their block letter kind of, and then the rest of them had different shape. Frogger had a different shape, and it was like silver. I remember.
Do you remember when Mattel conceded the video game thing when they stopped making in television, but then they started making games for Atari? It was called M Network. They had like M Network Football, M Network Baseball. They were the base of the cartridge was the regular size, but the cartridge itself was really thin.
I remember those ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was I remember a racing game that was like that. Yep.
Yeah, M Network was Mattel's in television. They basically realized, okay, we're not going to win here, so they tapped out and started making games for the 2600.
Who was it that bought Atari? Wasn't it? Was it Warner Brothers or something? Or I know he eventually went into. Was he the one that did Chuck E. Cheese?
John Biel.
Nolan Bushnell
bought Atari, John.
Yeah. Well, someone will say in the chat. I think
Once
Warner
again-
Brothers bought it, and then they couldn't. They had to it went through a lot of changes after that.
Nerd talk goes to another level.
Hey, good stuff.
Carnival. Amanda Coons brings up Carnival. That game was fun as shit. There it is.
See, that's not the original. The original had 6 switches on the front.
Really?
Yep. The original had 6 switches on the front, and then when they redesigned
can you identify all the switches?
One was power. The other one was, I think, color and black and white.
Reset.
Then there was reset, A and B on both sides. Something to do with A and B.
Select, game select. You had like a select difficulty or something. Yeah.
It was power, color, black and white, difficulty A and B on either side of the cartridge, then reset.
And then select.
Yeah. Select and reset.
But you had to have game select. Game select was the same as reset?
No, game select was to figure out which game you were going to do, 1 player or 2 players, and then you started it.
But what were the other 2 buttons? Because you said there were 6.
A and B. There were 2 A and B difficulty buttons. There was difficulty
Gotcha.
A and B. On that version of it, they're on the back. There are 2 little buttons on the back that you snapped on the back. But the original, if you look, there's space on the front of it there for 2 more switches.
Welcome, Christina. Gustafson Tapper.
Welcome, Christina. Welcome from Facebook.
Howdy.
And I don't know.
SJ.
There we go. How do you two at the bottom?
They
The bottom sounds so good without mics.
You want to see my mic? We did this last week, so
Yeah, let's.
We did this last week, so
my distances.
Everybody here has mics.
Yeah, see, the mic is there. It's just in the corner. You can't see it.
Yeah.
And those guys have omnidirectional mics versus, like, if I get off this one, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same here.
Yeah.
That's right. Tech Talk.
Thank you for the question.
Jason McNamara, Tapper was better when it was just Tapper and before it became Root Beer Tapper. Remember they when it was just Tapper in the bars, and then when they put it out on the home video game.
The game. I remember.
Yeah, they had to make it Root Beer Tapper so that it wasn't alcoholic.
Burger Time. Dig Dug.
Yeah, Dig Dug's awesome. I still have a Dig Dug computer version somewhere.
I have a little one of those back when the ones that you could buy that you could just plug right into the TV, and it had like 4 or 5 games on them. I had one of those.
I got one for you, boys.
Pac-Man and
Pole Position.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, the racing games were some of the better ones on Atari.
The game or the VHS?
The game. The game. Oh God, I didn't even catch it. Fell right on it.
Literally.
I still
Speaking
have
of VHS, I did.
Oh shit! Excite
I
Bike
still
was
have in the other
Nintendo.
room. I have an old Sega Genesis,
Yeah,
which was awesome.
that's probably my favorite system of all
Pulled
time.
out my old VCR and
Hell yeah!
Look at
There's
this.
the collection, man.
How many of those did we want and never had?
And they were expensive too. I mean, they were like $40-$50 at the time, weren't they? Or
Yeah,
maybe,
$39
for the name brand titles, the good ones. E.T.
Oh, Smurf for Atari was awesome.
Man, look at all
Smurfs.
There's Gorf.
Empire Strikes
you're right.
Back.
There's
How about
both.
that one? Empire Strikes Back was a great one.
Empire. I played that all the time. Empire, yeah.
Keystone
Well, remember-
Capers.
How about, does anybody remember Star Voyager? You had to actually have 2 controllers for that. Remember, you had the keyboard.
Yeah. It came with the little It looked like a little car phone type thing, and it had those things you stick on top of it.
Yeah, overlays that
Yeah.
you had to stick on the top of it. So you had to actually use the joystick and that. You had to use both controllers at the same time.
Yeah.
What a pain in the ass that was.
Enduro, I remember that one. Enduro
I never
was a good
used
one.
it.
There's ET right there. Top.
There's
kind of
Gorf. Gorf.
Mm-hmm.
Grand Prix. At some point, I played all of these at some point, even if it was maybe some of them were in the arcade. 007. Wow, I wonder how that is.
Dude, I remember Centipede. In the arcades, it was great with the huge trackball. But on the Atari, that shit sucked.
Yeah. Well, no, you had the Centipede.
It was like Missile Command.
Yeah, it had like 16 games, and the first 4 were like slow, so that you could like if you could use the joystick, and it would be a slow reaction. And then as you went up to the further games, the reaction on the joystick became quicker to the point where like, because it wasn't a trackball, so it had to
Stampede. I remember that.
If you just touched the joystick, the trackball, it was like you spun the trackball all over the place.
Yeah.
Could you imagine what video games would be today if like the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 were out back then?
They would be like them because we didn't think that far ahead.
I mean, well, just look at the evolution that it's been. I mean, it really has been crazy since, I mean, when we were kids, this was what we had. And it was just that, no realism whatsoever.
What was the one? Was it Dragon Quest? What was the one that was the cartoon?
That was Dragon Quest. Yeah, you'd play that.
Dragon Slayer.
Dragon
Slayer.
Yeah. Remember that? That was the first time. That was the first time you actually had like animation, and then you pushed the button and it reacted.
And all it was a laser disc playing chapters. Is all it was. Choose your own adventure, really. It was, and we didn't realize it at the time. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was still awesome for what it was.
Oh, it was great. Controlling any. You didn't control any of it.
No, you just did left or right. That was about you made a choice.
You're just watching a cartoon, and you're changing. That's a cartoon for being a director. Is what it actually is for directing.
Pretty much.
You're changing scenes.
Yeah.
Thrash Metal just brought up a great one, Karate Champ, and I still have my cartridge for my Nintendo of Karate Champ. Love that.
Some of the Nintendo karate ones were great. Yeah.
Full point.
Was it Karate Champ or what? Karate was the one that was in the arcades as well?
Yeah, Karate Champ, where you had the 2 joysticks and you had to make combinations to get the guys to like kick. It was
before Mortal Kombat when you had to do like the combinations in Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter. Great stuff.
I still have my my Karate Champ. I know exactly where it is. I wish I could hook it up. We could play online.
Yeah,
I'm sure you can find like the simulators on
the emulator,
all over.
Actually, John, remember we've been trying to figure this out. You can actually play games within the Discord,
right?
Remember we were gonna try doing that.
Do it on here. Do it live.
Yeah,
we'll do it live.
Well, you could. I mean, you can't necessarily play a video live, but you could play a video game live. What was that?
Yeah,
read it out loud.
I don't.
Oh, Renus, is that Renus's comment?
Renus, if you send a super chat, Johnny has to read it.
That's right.
Oh, there you go.
I'll read anything. There's my favorite game at the bottom in the middle. Tennis. That was actually my favorite game. Tennis. That one was cool. Yeah. I thought the sports ones were actually more fun, like tennis and bowling and.
Bowling. Yeah, that was good.
The boxing one was great.
Tecmo Wrestling.
That was just like the two, like you had like just the fists in the head, like basically that. Yeah.
Wait, John, do that again.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Sean Mahoney. Tennis was really good.
Spider-Man was a good one. My neighbor had
bowling. Atari Rampage. Bowling was awesome.
Yeah,
Superman sucked.
Superman did suck.
You wanted Superman to be really good, but it wasn't.
And so did Defender. Defender sucked because the spaceship disappeared.
Defender was great.
I love Defender.
The spaceship disappeared when you pushed the button because it didn't have enough power.
Enough power.
Yeah, so the spaceship would disappear, and then the laser would shoot, and then the spaceship would come back after the laser was done because the memory was overloaded.
Pac-Man was a horrible kind of
more games.
Yeah.
Onto the 2600. That was a terrible
the first
version.
Pac-Man sucked, and the first Donkey Kong, remember, it wasn't done by Atari, it was another company.
Wow.
Well, Nintendo wasn't that a Nintendo game?
Yeah, but there was a
Nintendo released a few Atari.
It was a third party manufacturer that made it because Atari couldn't get
that was a white cartridge. That was
I think so. Yeah,
I think it was a white cartridge.
See you, Jason.
Later, Jason.
Yeah, Asteroid sucked on the 2600 too. Remember they colorized it? It just wasn't the black and white vector thing. It was they tried to colorize it. You had the different color rocks.
Yeah. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, I liked it too.
Back, buddy.
Was that the one? What was the one? Was it Combat that had all those different games?
Yes.
Yeah, you could fly the airplanes.
I mean, it was all the same game, but all kind of different.
That's the one that came free with it, I think. Combat, and depending on which one you got.
What about Time Pilot? Remember Time Pilot for Atari?
No,
I remember that title. I don't remember what it was.
It was fun.
It was Time Pilot.
I just remember playing tank pong on Combat and always kicking the shit out of my little brother because he couldn't figure out the geometrics of rebounds.
Oh yeah.
Hey, remember that one game? I know the name. I want to see if somebody else gets it. Remember the paddle controllers that they had?
Yeah. It was like knights. You were defending
I know
your
what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
The 4-player game. Everybody had a corner.
Oh no, that's not the one I'm talking about.
That's the one I'm talking about. You're defending your castle.
Each one had a castle, right?
Warlords. That's what. Yeah, that's what it.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Kaboom. Kaboom was a great one too.
Oh,
where you had the paddle and
the paddle games were good. Yeah, because you had a lot more control than the joystick.
Yep. Yeah, the paddles were cool.
And depending on what game it was.
That's when systems used to actually come with like all the controllers. You know.
Yeah. All right, I gotta let him out.
Yeah, and you could plug two paddles into one joystick port.
Oh,
so you could do like if you had a paddle game, you could do 4 people, but if you had the regular ones, you could do two player.
Yeah.
Good times, man. Simpler times, man.
I know. I just
Isn't
think of like
it a Blade Runner game? Wow. I'm looking at some of those. I don't even remember a lot of those.
No, I've never seen most of these.
Yeah, John BL 10 minutes ago. I've played all those. Yeah. What did you say? I'm like, sure you have. Sure
at some point, no. At some point, I've played. I mean, even if it's just like on emulators like this online, but because some of those. I'm looking at some of them. Yeah, I don't know what they are. Mountain King.
I remember that one. Mountain King was fun.
And some of the graphics are kind of cool.
Man, I can't scroll in. I'm like scrolled all the way in.
Yeah, good stuff.
Wow. Smurf was good, man. That was a fun game.
My neighbor had a home theater back in the 80s, and he owned a record store in town, and basically, he had like the projection screen, and they had Intellivision, ColecoVision, Atari.
Here's the cartridges. Oh man.
Wow.
Ben Tom mentions a game, Yar's Revenge. I remember that one.
Yeah, I remember that in the arcade.
I remember one. There's Berserk. Wow,
remember arcade?
Back memories, dude. The Asteroids cover right there.
Warlords. That's the one I was talking about.
Yeah,
the first one.
I always like the old Atari graphics, like on the cartridges, better than the other ones.
They looked so much better than like you looked at the covers of the games and then you played the game and it was so bad.
Well, yeah, the game was never as cool as what it looks like on here.
That's part about it, really.
But these graphics are so cool, like especially those early ones. All the ones on the top row.
Yep. Night Driver. I remember that one, Night Driver. Bringing back memories, definitely.
Yeah, man. I haven't seen some of these, and God, I can't remember.
Just the titles bring it right back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Let's try to find Yar's Revenge.
Ghostbusters.
It's got to be in there. It was one of the early games, I thought, right?
Donkey Kong Jr.
Battlezone. I loved Battlezone. Battlezone and Joust were both awesome.
Joust. Was that the one where you were an ostrich?
Yeah, you were flying on the ostrich. You
were on the ostrich.
You were on the ostrich. You had to be
Fishing Derby. I remember that one. Fishing Derby. Yeah.
See, I love the Activision games because they're honest with you. This is what the game looks like. If you don't like it, don't buy it.
Actual screenshot.
Pitfall 2. That's right. That one was great, man.
Bent Tom says Moon Patrol, Galaxian. I remember those. I don't know.
Galaxian was great.
Like some of them were the 64.
Well, here's how you could know.
Commodore 64.
Yeah, you're thinking
we did have a Commodore 20, a VIC 20. We had a VIC 20.
Man, Paul can't get that out.
Sorry. Go ahead, Paul.
No, I was just saying the other. You can tell like near the end there, all the silver boxes were when the Atari 5200 had come out, and they had to repackage everything to make it look more modern.
Mm-hmm.
and it said Atari, and then on the side there, it said either 26 or 5200 along the side of where the I is in Atari.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I think Atari was one of the companies where you could always put like a 2600 game in there later, like 7200. The cartridges were all the same size, so you could play backwards compatible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unlike a Nintendo, or I don't know about the other ones, PlayStations. But
does anybody remember the Sega Master System?
Hell yeah,
I had it. That was the first time they had a great football game. I forget the name of it though, but it was, the Master System had a sick football game because it had an add-on.
Tecmo Bowl?
No, it wasn't a Tecmo Bowl, but it was its own thing, and it was like a league. Like it had small cities named after the teams and stuff. Really fun game to play, and then you could add on to the Master System with a plug-and-play DVD-ROM.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that was like too much. It was too expensive for
Sega
people.
CD. That was another one. Sega CD system, or one of the first.
If I'm not mistaken, that football game you're talking about, the play select screen, it was a time great football. There you go, Ben Tom.
Is that what it's called? Great football?
And yeah, it was great football. And you had to wait like this. The circle or square went around each play on your screen. And then whatever, when it went to the one you wanted to pick, you hit the button. And it was the dumbest system ever to pick a play in that game.
Well, yeah, couldn't your opponent see what you were picking? Or
yeah, that's what I'm saying. You had to like fake pressing buttons if you were sitting next to somebody playing.
I just found it online. It's a Sega. You can go to SegaRetro.org.
Jungle Hunt, I remember that one.
But see how see the little number right there see where it says Atari, and then the little number. You can't really read it, but where the Jungle Hunt is, right after Atari, right there, there's like a little red number. Yeah, it was either 2600 or 5200. Remember that when they finally come out with a second version of it?
Yeah, and just slightly better.
ET was that version.
What, 5200?
That's right. Yeah, it had the gray.
It was a 2600, but it was the silver.
Gray, silver.
Shinobi. Ben Tom mentioned Shinobi on the Master System. Wow, God, what a great game. I spent, I don't know how much money on renting that game, me and my brother, man. Damn.
And then when I got Nintendo, I played Ninja Gaiden. Remember that?
Mm-hmm. It was hard as shit.
Ninja Gaiden and Gogol 13. Gogol 13 was awesome.
Yeah, but Ninja Gaiden was that was one of those impossible games, man.
Contra.
Yep. Up, down, left, right.
Oh, yeah. The Konami code.
Konami code, yep.
Like I said, I never had Nintendo, but I always had friends that had neighbors or something that always go out and play the latest systems. But
Amanda says she liked Rygar on a Nintendo Entertainment System. Because I didn't have a Nintendo, I had a Sega Master System, but every friend that I had that had Nintendo that had Rygar, the game was broken. Every one of them. Everybody's Rygar was busted.
Well, that was what we thought about ET. It was like we could, it didn't work. Like it was all, I read the instructions 100 times and tried every little trick and could never get him out of the pit where he falls into. Or
no, dude, I'm talking about the game wouldn't work. Like in this,
Oh, you couldn't even
you couldn't even get the game to work.
Maybe some company, because a lot of those are made by different
companies.
How about
that game? How about that Shark Attack? That doesn't look like fun at all.
No. Unless you're the shark.
Yeah. I was like, what the hell? Oh, do you remember when who was the company? There was a company that didn't have the rights to make a game. Was it Taito?
They did some of the karate games, I think.
They did some games, but they didn't have permission to license games for the Atari or for Nintendo. Which one was it? It was for Nintendo, but they were the guys they were the company that did the original version of Gauntlet, and it was like a bootleg. Like they got shut down. What was the name of that company?
They had the cool cartridges.
Yes, they were gold. They were like
Tengen.
gold.
Tengen.
Yeah, Tengen. Yeah,
Tengen.
Tengen. Tengen. they didn't have a
make
license.
Baseball?
Yeah, they didn't have a license to do certain games that they were putting together for Nintendo. And I remember there was a big lawsuit, so those things became really valuable for a while.
They had that awesome off-road racing game.
Snoopy and the Red Baron. I remember that one.
Laser Gates? I don't remember that one at all.
What's that one in the middle? Is that an educational game?
Name this game. Looks like Shark Attack again, but it...
Spider
Fighter.
How about that?
Spider Insider, what?
Spider Fighter was kind of like, it was like Galaxian. It was a combination of Galaxian and Missile Command.
See, like Activision was making such dope games. They're like, yo, we can put what it looks like. It, the rest of these companies got to put a cool sticker on it because their games suck.
Johnny, here. Never mind. Go ahead.
I was going to say, look at that racquetball one. That racquetball looks like it was a blast.
70s porn.
It looks like, it doesn't even look like racquetball. It looks like Zim Zam. Remember Zim Zam?
Didn't all those Magic games suck? The Laser Gates game that was made by a company, or Image. Is that Image? What does that say? Magic or Magic?
Where?
Magic.
Didn't all those games suck or something? I remember hearing something about that.
Well, they look like they suck.
Yeah.
Johnny, I sent you a link. That's
Johnny, you doing dishes? What the hell's going on?
Yeah. Free 80s arcade?
What?
Huh? Free 80. It's free.
It's all these games, and you can. I mean, it shows you like the full. Either you can play the full game, or you can get like the history of the game and that kind of, and graphics and all that stuff.
I have a friend that does emulators, and he'll do for like a couple of $100. He'll give you one with like 1,600 games.
Yeah, it's probably the same.
Yeah.
Same.
Wow, this is like never ending.
Well, we're 14 minutes late for John's unboxing.
Oh.
It's all good. That's what I said. That's why I said we don't need to do it right on time.
Ooh, dolphin. Oink. Oink. Frostbite. There's a game called fucking Frostbite. What do? You gotta get a stay warm or you lose an appendage.
Light fire.
Pressure cooker. Pressure cooker sounds like it's gonna be great. Don't burn it.
Laser blast.
I remember laser blast.
Oink. How about oink?
The hell is
Barnstormer was good.
Yeah, Barnstormer was awesome.
Yeah.
Grand Prix was awesome.
Oh.
Enduro was awesome.
Enduro was cool. Stampede, I remember that one. Chopper Command, I remember that one. That one was really cool.
Was great. Well, Chopper Command was Defender.
Yeah, but it was Chopper Command. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was essentially the same game. Frostbite, I'm just thinking about Frostbite. Quick, get inside before you get so cold that one of your limbs falls off.
Frostbite.
Johnny, go to that site and you can go to every 2600 game and you can see what it's all about. Oink is here. Where's Oink?
Are you finding Oink?
Yeah, there's Oink. So
he's looking up Oink.
I have a PlayStation.
I can't.
I don't know where it is. I have a PlayStation game that's all of the Atari 2600 games.
Oh, wow.
It's a disc with all the Atari 2600 games, if I can find it somewhere. I'm looking around.
There's Oink.
Johnny,
Oink. Can you go on that link?
Yeah. I'll go over there.
Activision Boxing is the one where it just was the overhead shot of the head and the arms.
Right.
Man, I look at these and I instantly can hear the sounds.
River Raid.
Oh, yeah. Activision Ice Hockey was great too. Activision Ice Hockey was so much better than regular Atari hockey until we got Blades of Steel on Nintendo.
Skyjinx, another one.
Even ice hockey was fun on Nintendo, man. You get to pick
the
team, and you got, remember the skinny guy, the fat guy, and the medium, and the regular sized guy.
Yeah, the fat guy was always the goalie.
Glass Joe. That was Tyson, right?
Yeah, Tyson's Punch Out.
Sean Mahoney brings up a funny. I'm sure we've all had this problem when we were kids playing it, but Pitfall was a never-ending hell. F that game. And he's right, man. Remember, it's like before you knew that there was literally no end to the game. You just kept going, and you're like,
there was a contest where you could send in a screenshot of your the high score, because that was the only way they could just see who got the. And I sent in a screenshot of my high score, which was, I mean, again, who knows? It was probably like playing for 10 minutes. And
what'd you do? Mail a Polaroid in or something?
That's exactly what we did.
Yeah, you mail.
I don't know about Polaroid or a 35 millimeter. But I remember there was a contest for that. I think it was Pitfall, but yeah, we never knew that there was no end to it, and it was like,
well, that was like when you went to the arcade, there was no end to Space Invaders.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Or Well, then there was the games that Pac-Man had an ending, but it was a glitch.
Yeah, well, it didn't end. It just the machine ran out of memory and the whole screen screwed up.
Or some games the score would reset. You flip the score.
Yeah,
like Asteroids. That's how you technically beat Asteroids. You flip the score.
I was never that good at any one video game. We have 2 AC/DC pinball machines at the radio station, and that's what I do. I still play pinball. In fact, it was like a year ago, I almost bought a KISS pinball machine. They wanted $4,000 for it. I was like, ugh.
Oh my goodness.
That seems like a lot of money. So I bought an Ernie Ball Music Man instead.
Well, it'll hold its value.
Well, the KISS pinball machine will hold its value too.
Yeah, but it'll break down a lot quicker too.
Yeah.
It's a lot more moving parts.
Yeah, I looked at 2 of them, KISS and Guns N' Roses. They wanted $4,000 for the KISS one. It was in very good condition. The Guns N' Roses
the T2 one?
Yeah, the Guns N' Roses one was $6,000, and it was the one with the gun as the plunger. You know what I mean? Instead of pulling. You press the gun. Yeah, it was the Guns N' Roses from Terminator 2, and that was $6,000. I mean, that's a lot of money for pinball machines.
Tom mentions King of Kong, which is a great documentary about the guy going for the high score, and it sounds so nerdy, but it was just this group of people who were going for the high score of I think it was Donkey Kong and a couple of different games, but there's one famous guy who has like the high score on a lot of those old arcade games, but he's one of like the main character in the documentary. King of Kong, good documentary. Billy Mitchell, that's what it was. Yeah, Billy Mitchell was the guy's name. And they play it at there's a place up in Paul might know, Laconia, the Fun Spot, which is like the biggest arcade in I think it might be the biggest arcade in America, maybe the Northeast or something, but Fun Spot up in Laconia is a great. I haven't been there in probably 15
There was a New England Grand Prix in Tewksbury also had a great arcade, huge arcade. And then, of course, there was a Fun and Games in Framingham/Natick off of Route 9 in Massachusetts. Fun and Games.
Friggin' graphics.
This looks fun, huh?
It does. It really does, though.
It was awesome, though. That Pitfall was great.
Man. Vista Light says Zelda was never ending, correct? And Amanda says Zelda had an end. I think you had to beat it twice, though. Didn't you have to beat Legend of Zelda twice in order to actually beat it? I think you had to beat Ganon twice or something like that. I can only beat him once, though, because the game got harder.
Steve Carmichael, is that true? Did you see his comment? There's a
Steve
Van
Carmichael.
Halen pinball on YouTube, a guy made from a Dolly Parton machine, Roth and Sammy Eras. We'll have to check that out.
Wow. Yeah, I want to see that.
Kind of a fan-made pinball machine.
Yeah, that's the other reason why you don't want to buy a KISS pinball machine from 1970 or 1980, whenever it was, because it sucked. Like the best part of the game was the back glass, the KISS back glass, and the way it was lit up. But if you ever took that to play, the gameplay was boring.
Right. I do remember the Guns N' Roses one, though. That was
Guns N' Roses one was good.
On, probably like the height of tech. you know, because it was the 90s when they were making that, and it had a lot of different elements that, like the Kiss one probably didn't have.
The AC/DC one we have at work is really good.
Nice.
I'm thinking if there was a Van Halen one, each of the flippers would be a guitar, right?
Probably a guitar neck.
Mm-hmm. Be kind of cool.
Or two SM58s.
Ooh, killing bugs, huh?
Yeah, and a mosquito. It's rare in Arizona. We don't usually get them. I hear music in the background. Is somebody playing video games?
Is it this?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's the baby monitor for Ellie. She has on Metallica. What is it?
She's playing Metallica.
Oh, I was on the wrong part of the riff. That was neat. I heard like a sideways Metallica riff, a new Metallica riff.
Did you get the Metallica Lullaby disc?
No, it's
one of those. I haven't. I haven't found it yet, but I still want to find the Rockabye by Van Halen ones.
I have that.
Oh, do you? Is it cool?
It is cool.
Yeah.
I hear the distortion of Ride the Lightning, so I don't know what the hell it is, but
yeah, because nothing says "sleep well, little girl" like "Ride the Lightning."
Dude, you turn it off, she gets pissed. She wants to hear it, man.
Yeah, she's gonna grow up. She's gonna grow up and cut you in your sleep.
She loves it, dude. Kidding me?
I kid.
Okay, what's that site? Free 80s Arcade.
Welcome back to the conversation, John.
Yeah. No, I'm here. I never left. I'm here. Is that a legit site?
I don't know what you consider legit. So,
like, does it go where
am I going to go there?
There's no pop-ups or anything.
Is stuff going to start downloading instantly and like pop-ups and
pop-ups?
Well, we know it's not a pay site because John BL would never go there.
Oh.
Unless he's using somebody else's password.
John BL don't pay for Strange.
Let me see.
I found this the other day. I was just mentioning.
Cool. Yeah.
Pull up the old VCR, and I want to see if I can get a
Gilmore crushes on it. I was really bummed out that he wouldn't play anything but a Strat though. Like the whole thing is supposed to be about Les Pauls.
Right.
You'll
I haven't
check
seen the whole thing in so long. We should do a viewing of that at some point.
You'll love the fact that Carly Simon has one of the original Les Paul lights. The original pink Les Paul light. It was a Les Paul, but it's like 2/3 of the size of the thickness of a Les Paul, and they brought those back in 2013.
Wow, I don't know if I remember that.
Yeah.
Again, I got this back in the day, so this is probably at least 20 years old.
Yeah.
Stanley Jordan, Rita Coolidge.
I switched that thing over to I have a VHS CD, dubber. So I took the VHS and dubbed it over to DVD, and then threw away the VHS.
Threw it away.
Yeah. Or did I? I don't know. Maybe it's in a box somewhere. It might be in a box with some of my Tracy Lords art films.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh my God. Yeah.
That's terrible.
It's so bad.
The graphics are great, man. That was like the height of graphics back in to have an actual face you could recognize.
Well, yeah, and the fact that they were able to vector it. I mean, look at that thing. That thing looks like somebody wiped their nose on the bottom of the screen.
Remember that you had to find the sweet spot to get out of there. I was so.
Yeah, you had to put his neck up, and then you had to find the M&Ms or find the.
That game sucked.
Yep.
Johnny, you couldn't get on that other. You didn't want to try that other.
It's the pervert.
You can play it on that. You can get right into it.
It's the pervert in the trench coat.
Yeah, it looks like Leisure Suit Larry has made his way into the.
And Ernie.
Yeah, that's right, Ernie. Where's Bert? Hey, Bert.
Hey, Bert. Hello, Bert. Hey, Bert. Why are you choking me, Bert?
Cool artwork, though, man.
E.T. the extra testicle.
Had to find all the pieces of the telephone or the communication thing to phone home.
I don't know. I don't know any of these references.
Oh, it felt so terrible when E.T.'s laying there dead. It's like, I killed him.
No, I thought it was great because the game was over and you could play something else.
You could go play something that was fun.
That's all I remember. It was frustrating. And then 30 years later, it comes to find out I wasn't the only one. You know.
Again, E.T. was just an updated version of Adventure. Adventure, where you were just the square.
I liked it.
No, Adventure was a great game for what it was, but all of those games, Gauntlet, all of those games were basically a variation on Adventure. The graphics on Adventure sucked, though. You were a square.
Yeah. You're a yellow square.
You had two choices. The games either had good graphics and shitty gameplay, or great gameplay and lousy graphics, because the memory of these games wasn't good enough for you to have both.
Johnny, can you play that video?
Which one?
The ET one. Can you play that?
Is that a copyright issue?
No, you could do game playthroughs on this.
Can you?
There's probably a full playthrough of ET on YouTube.
You can. Yeah, video games you can do. Let me see.
Hi, buddy.
Thing is, I can't play it. Well, I shouldn't play a video because somebody down the line is going to get a notification for that.
Well, you can play the actual game if you don't want to go on that link I sent you. You can play that because the game's right on there.
Can you get a virus on a Mac?
Oh, jeez.
It's almost impossible.
You're not going to get a virus on there.
Okay.
It's no virus.
Free 80s arcade.
It's a legit site, Johnny.
Don't put a G before the 8, and you should be fine.
Free 80s.
Anybody get that?
Don't put a.
Don't say it out loud.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going.
Here we go.
I'm there.
Careful.
Oh, you can't see me.
Oh, now it's over.
Oh, shoot.
You've ruined the show.
No, not that site.
Easy.
So you can actually play these games if you click on it? Or it just talks about it?
Yeah, you can play it.
Really?
How do you play it?
Click on it.
The same way you can play in your music.
At the top, it says play 2600 games. You see that? Homepage, play 2600.
Good, man.
If you click on play, and then it has
this site looks really old. I mean, is that
you want it all, don't you?
Is that part of the fun?
Yeah. Acid Drop, the first game. Acid Drop. Let's see that game.
No, come on. Let's go to something everybody knows and hates.
Well, Johnny's not gonna.
Johnny's afraid to play any of those games.
No, I'm on it. I'm looking at it, but it's
supposed to look old, Johnny. It's supposed to look retro, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 8-bit.
No, not even 8-bit.
It's 4-bit. It's 4-bit. 8-bit was Nintendo. 8-bit was Nintendo.
Yeah. And Sega. Sega!
I think we harmonized that.
I heard that.
Yeah, it was good.
Oh, well, I guess I'll do my unboxing.
Yeah, do your unboxing.
Yeah, there we go. Jesus, we're all sitting here waiting for Johnny's playing the games, and we're all just sitting here.
If we're,
no, I'm not clicking on that button. That looks weird.
Well, I sent you guys the link too, so if you guys want to check it out,
I would, but we can't share the screen.
There's nothing to. Yeah, you can. Well, Johnny won't. Johnny has to ultimately share it.
No, you
even though it's my show,
you can share. Yeah,
it's all good. So I mentioned this last week. And,
did you?
Yeah. We'll do the.
Oh my gosh!
Disemboweling the leather, the package. How you girl? How you girl?
Ready? Drum roll.
Oh, look at that!
The saddest part is he never even learned how to read.
Oh. Speaking of that, we rescheduled June 5th. Greg Runoff will be here.
Saddest part is I can't read any of it because I don't have any
Never
glasses.
even learned how to read.
I can't read. God damn it! I can't see.
Gotta get my glasses.
Let's see if we can find a little quick preview.
Where's John BL?
So, contents are.
Hey, Professor.
Wait a minute. Are you rereading the copyrighted works of another author?
Yeah,
I probably should be careful, right?
He's gonna be here, and he's gonna be like, "You guys already read the book."
There's a good picture. I mean, I guess we can look at the pictures. That if the, I don't know if there's, doesn't look like there's too many.
You know, I had this conversation with Jeannie a few days ago. Is it like copyright law that you can't recite a book on?
Yes. Yes.
Good.
It says inside, no part of this book may be retransmitted. If you're reading there, like you can't do a public book reading without permission. Technically.
We've seen a lot of this stuff.
Read it backwards.
I think we've seen pictures of Ed sitting at that console or
No.
Sunset Sound. No.
Sitting on it.
Sure.
Most of the pictures of Eddie sitting at the console, that's at 5150.
I kind of figured this was. I mean, it's not all about Van Halen. Most of these pictures are not Van Halen pictures. Nicolette Larson.
Here you go. This is what's written.
Glasses on.
This is what's written in every book. All rights reserved, including the right to reproduce this book or portions or any thereof whatsoever for information address, whatever the book publisher is. Of course, I was reading that from Jim Norton's book because Jim Norton's I Hate Your Guts because I'm into classy prose. And I, too, put on my old man glasses.
Chapter 11, In the Cradle of Rock. Damn good advice. Jay, get a book. For the rest of the show, we're all just going to read something to ourselves.
All right,
I've never read a full book in my life.
Here's my suggestion for the week. Neanderthals book suggestion of the week. Neil's Book of the Dead.
Neil,
really heavy.
Neil.
Peace.
Really heavy. By Nigel Planer. Back. Get out of the way, buddy. Seriously, you got to go in the toughest places here.
I'm going to have to read some of this because I'm reading just... So it seems like they jump into Van Halen kind of in the middle of the book, and starts with.
I know that'll be the disappointment
Recording.
for some people.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just interested. I mean, his whole, everything, everybody he worked with was legends,
Yeah, he produced those great Foreigner records too.
What was it? Doobie Brothers and just great sounding records. Here's the filming of Pretty Woman.
He was the house sound engineer at the time. It's funny because when those albums came out in the late 70s, early 80s, he wasn't a big producer. He was just the cheap guy that they had on staff. And then all of a sudden, all the records that he started putting his hands on became good.
We've seen that kind of famous picture. I think Johnny put that up for him a few weeks ago.
Yeah, it was when
Steinberger bass and
when he was recording all the bass parts to all the Van Halen albums.
I know. But was it Sammy's? Did Sammy record his album? No, because this was earlier than that. This looks like we were saying Wildlife or something.
Did Templeman produce Standing Hampton?
That's what I was just. Did Ed record that at 51? Did Sammy record that at 5150? I don't think he did.
Standing Hampton was earlier. Standing Hampton was earlier than that.
What?
No, Keith Olsen did Standing Hampton.
Never Say Goodbye. Never Said Goodbye.
It was just Sammy Hagar. They renamed it Never Say Goodbye.
Aerosmith. Yeah, I'll find some list to read maybe next week. Anyway,
Ted Templeman did produce VOA.
What year was that? Was that 84, 85?
VOA?
Yeah.
VOA was, I think, 84. It's funny. He didn't produce a whole lot of Sammy material. Just VOA, which, again, arguably Sammy's most popular solo record at the time. All 36 minutes and 24 seconds of it.
Well, I mean, how long was 1984? Probably not much longer, if not that long. You know, a lot of those albums up to the mid to late 80s were 35 minutes.
Yeah, it was great. You could put one on each side of a 90-minute cassette.
45
minutes on each side. You could put 2 albums on one 90-minute cassette. Hi.
Thrash Metal wants to talk quantum physics. Does time really stand still while atoms cease moving at absolute zero? Oh, he's got and
what was that?
The conversation with somebody else or what?
It's a little too deep for this show.
Excuse me. Man.
I know exactly who this was because this is a carryover from Tuesday night when somebody just went fart crazy.
Or was that Thursday night over Dave's show?
Oh, did he do that too?
No, he was I think Johnny trolling him a little bit. Or was it the dog barking or something?
Look, this is it. Just look at Beane. Look at the face.
Oh,
he's so amused by himself with this. He loves it.
I just got here. What's going on?
Yes, I know. Wow, what happened? I just walked in.
Nothing to do with it.
Who knew? What? Did I miss anything?
Jay's transforming before our eyes.
Yeah, playing with backgrounds.
Wow.
How are you doing that? It's in the settings, huh?
Yeah, he's the only one who's figured that out at this point.
Are you doing it on a Mac?
Oh,
the last thing to go is your striped wolf behind you. Turn it down
gosh,
to the lowest level, and the last thing to go is the Wolfgang.
What?
Can't hear you.
If you go to settings on the cam and mic on the bottom, and then you click down on green screen, you can import a picture, obviously, and then you just mess with the fade. Oh wait, the blue one. Look at that.
That's kind of cool.
Oh, you changed your shirt.
Oh, look at that. Just my
You
shirt.
can change the key color, and if change it to a red key color and see.
Yeah, I can't do that because I'm on Firefox.
I haven't.
You got to be on Chrome to do it.
Woo!
I'm not going to try. That's Jay's trick.
Well, no, why can't you try it? Come on,
Because
bro.
I'm on Firefox.
I'll try that. Do I have to? Do you have to upload a picture?
Yeah, but it gives you the option right there. There's a plus after that third picture that I imported of my living room.
That's not a baby grand. That's a full grand.
Yeah. Yup. That's as much as my house grand.
Yeah, you'd think with a living room like that, you'd dress better.
Hardy.
Nice tooth. Nice tooth. You look like Joe Exotic's boyfriend with his 3 chiclets.
Whoa, look at that. Look, see the guitar. Change its color now.
Where's your Kiesel?
By the way, Jay, you'll love this. I talked to a buddy of mine out of buying a Kiesel the other day. He's looking at the Jason Becker model as much as I want him to buy it. I said, be very careful if you're going to buy a Kiesel. But that's a production model, so I'm guessing it will be well made.
It'll probably be fine because they know how to make that guitar by now.
Yeah.
So supporting Jason Becker is a great thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm all about. That part of it.
Yeah, if he buys that one, then awesome.
Yeah, that's what I want him to do. And he's a big Jason fan as well. So
awesome. I emailed with Jason this morning.
Were you big timing us?
Yeah, I've actually met Jason Becker.
No,
no, you haven't. Come on,
it's true.
Quit pulling our legs.
John, pull my finger.
Blank palette. Yes, blank palette. The Jason Becker is made by Carvin, not Kiesel.
You lost.
Yeah, but they don't put Carvin on them anymore.
Right, I know.
They were carving back when Jason was playing them. That's
yep.
Yes, it's a Kiesel now.
This Kiesel, that kind of sounds like a bad word, huh?
Yeah,
it is a bad word. I'm gonna kick you in the Kiesel.
No.
Yeah.
Please don't do that.
Oh man. So wait, so do you have to upload a picture to do the green screen? Or it just does it?
Yeah, you do.
Johnny, are you even listening?
Green screen.
Well, they have stock photos in there.
It uses more computer resources and other features.
Jay's
More
living.
powerful, your computer the better it'll perform. All right. Okay, you can't see me, right? Well, I mean, I look the same, right?
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, what are you doing?
Wow, you have Jay's living room too?
Yeah.
Hey, what are you doing here?
I do. I have
Look, looks like a ghost. That's kind of cool. That's a little freaky. Highlight yourself, Johnny.
And that's how they did the special effects for Ghostbusters.
3 men and a baby.
Haunted Mansion at Disney.
Yeah, there you go.
Wait.
He's in the waiting room.
That's funnier to me because I know a girl that actually got caught up in that. If you want to, I'll message you guys the girl. Yeah, I'll message you. Yeah, I'll send it to you. You'll laugh.
I want to be sitting on that couch though.
Yeah, of course you do.
Yeah.
So how do you get out of this? Do you have to stay within this window while you're doing this?
How's that?
Is this forever?
So you want to be in movies, do you?
It doesn't show it while you're uploading pictures. It doesn't show it, right?
No. So you can scroll past all those, good photos and.
You eating a Rice Krispie treat?
Yes, I am eating the shit out of it.
Oh, and then once you shut the window, you're just there.
Wait, Johnny, what color shirt do you have on again?
Oh, green.
Change the blue to the green.
Oh, it is on green.
Oh, we'll put it on blue. Yeah.
Podcast.
Nice living room, Jay.
Yeah. I should have you guys over sometime.
I'm there right now.
Shit.
I'm sort of there.
Ace looks bored.
Yeah, well, he wants me to throw this ball.
When Ace gets bored, it's a problem.
Well, I was busy taking care of a request for Jay.
Let's see what we got here.
That girl was one of the rock girls at one of our radio stations.
Can I go? I'm going to go to it on my computer. Whatever.
Am I still in that?
I'll chance it.
I'm normal, right?
I don't know where the other link is for you.
I don't know what normal is. I don't know what normal is.
It ain't working on this for some reason. Zip.
Yeah, you're better off doing it on like an iPad or something like that. It's probably going to be safer.
Better off doing it in that T-shirt next to you.
What the what?
Towel.
Oh.
Here's John's. John's getting his.
I didn't send it to anybody but you, Jay. It's all you.
Right under my chair, guys.
No, I was gonna say it's also this anniversary.
Us Festival.
Oh man,
next weekend.
Well, yeah, Memorial Day weekend.
We should have a big party. What's the 29th? What is that?
Next Friday.
Is it?
Oh wow.
Oh no, next Thursday.
Oh
no, next Friday.
Oh
yeah.
Nice.
Oh, that's terrible. Oh, that's great.
Oh,
that's nice. Yeah, it's the next Friday, so we'll do it. Well, I mean,
what's this wee shit?
I don't mean you guys have the show. No, I was gonna say we could do we could watch the US Festival like
this busted balls.
Watch.
I know it's my phone will ring late and I'll answer it and I'll be shirtless.
Yeah.
I'll be like, you guys, what are you guys doing? Oh, we're doing a watch party. I'm like, guys, I gotta be up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah, I get those too.
The thing is, it's like, I realize it's like 9 or 10 o'clock my time, and it's 1 in the morning. And I'm thinking, well, what's John BL's blood alcohol level right now? Just sits down with his Cabo Wabo and he just starts calling people.
Honestly, no. I mean, I still just drink on the weekends pretty much. So I haven't. I mean, it's caffeine.
Oh, that's good. You don't drink during the school week.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm still
when you're doing.
I still do work. Well, no, I'm not doing any of that. I mean, just online meetings is about it. But yeah, I mean, I think when we first started the lockdown, it was like, I was drinking too much, but now it's like, just no. Can't be going there anymore. The lockdown, whatever you want to call it, the quarantine.
It's just funny to hear it like that,
Anyway.
Now the show has ground to a halt. Like everybody,
my brain.
Everybody seems to have hit the wall. We're an hour and 49 minutes into this thing. We've got to fill another hour and 10 minutes.
Well, that's why I brought up the US Festival. I mean, we've done the US Festival to death.
Well, you got to do your unboxing, John.
I already did it.
It is unboxing.
You did it.
Do it again.
Put something in the box and unwrap it. Let's see what else.
What's in the box?
Come on, show us something in your room right now that nobody's seen before.
Yeah, it's time to play. What's behind you?
Well, I did, like I said, I had the Les Paul video, and I actually pulled this out. You probably can't read it, but
big boobs.
Van Halen, San Francisco, California, 92 probably.
Yep.
Oh.
And obviously, I've opened the tape. I've opened the tape, and the tape's been eaten and all that. I don't think so. I mean, I tried to play it. It played a little bit, but
remember how fast you used to jump off the couch if like your favorite tape was getting eaten by the VCR?
Oh yeah.
No.
So let's see what else. I got a couple others here.
I had a moment like that, Jay, where I had cassettes, like those. Remember those old green Scotch cassettes, C90s that you could see through? There was one under my bed. I was vacuuming my bedroom as a kid, and I heard this sound. What the hell is that? And I pick up the vacuum, and the tape is stuck to it and just unloading into the vacuum. It sucked. I shut the vacuum off. I pulled the cassette out. I'm like, oh, shit. God damn it.
Thriller.
I don't know what was on it, but it was probably like I had taped some radio show. So there was probably some song from some band that I didn't own their album. You taped it off the radio and you're like, oh, that's my favorite tape. Yes. I stole it. Yeah.
I don't think you did that, Paul.
Yeah, I did shit like that when I was a kid, but I outgrew it when I became a responsible adult.
It's like when I got it's all like Family Guy and
so you're still stealing
that 70s show.
That 70s show. Hey,
what does that say?
Laura Prepon when she was still hot. Groin boxing.
Groin boxing. Yeah,
it looks like, right?
What's groin boxing?
It's my new favorite band.
Simpsons. It's before DVR when you had to record everything.
Why don't we play? Let's see John Biel's search history.
I'm not afraid to show you my search history.
I am.
It's all good.
Oh shit!
All right, now we need.
Why do I have these? You want to talk about stupid shit? Why do I still have all these satellite access cards? Why do I have those?
Those are like DirecTV and Dish Network.
Yeah, they're all DirecTV cards. Yeah. Why do I have these? Why do I saved them?
There's gold on them. That's why you can actually. I think in the Dish Network ones there was gold on them. There was actually
these are gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a little gold on them.
Yo,
melt them down.
Let's make a John Biel shirt, and on the back it says John Biel on the front or whatever. On the back it's groin boxing, and then a picture of John Biel speed bag and a pair of fucking balls.
Man.
Groin boxing, just punching a yam bag.
Like the Atari 2600.
Yeah, use the Activision thing.
I'm losing it.
I think so.
All right.
Anyway.
Well, the show livened up for about 4 minutes. That was good.
Johnny looks frozen.
Yeah. No, I'm here. How do I do this?
Johnny's gonna put. Oh my goodness!
Shit.
Everybody's gonna be at John Biel's house.
Almost.
Yes, Johnny, send me the picture.
Send him the picture.
Send me the picture. Send Paul the picture.
I can't. I'm not. I have to bounce out and get in on Chrome.
You know what I figured out? You know what I figured out? And I was Jay. I sent you guys this earlier. I was watching the Metallica. I figured out I'm Jason Newsted. You know, you guys had Steve Anderson, who was like Cliff, like the greatest. You know, the coolest guy around. And then I became the Jason Newsted. So you can pull me out of the mix and all that, and I'll still just take it like I'll take it. What?
And Justice for all over again.
But did you see the clip that I sent you where they were at the Freddie Mercury concert and Jason's off doing an interview and they're like, oh, now that we put him in the mix, he thinks he's the big rock star. They actually said that in the now that they put him in the mix, he's a big rock star. Wow. So they were even joking about that back in the early 90s.
I would have been so pissed, man.
Oh yeah.
Let's
see. There you go, Johnny.
All right, hang on a second.
Sort of works.
If you shut the lights off and just have like the light on your head.
Really?
Going,
I'll be right back.
Is that true?
Yeah.
I don't know. If you just have the light on your face. No.
There we go. Mine's kind of okay.
Oh, mine really sucks now because I turned my lights off. But if I have to redo it?
No, we don't redo it.
How do you? Look at how much you're laughing.
Jay's teeth.
John Biel looks really real. Look at that.
Shit, man.
That's background.
I know. I was thinking we should grab one of Nesdal's backgrounds.
Oh, he'll be so pissed.
And use his background.
No, don't use my background.
Wait, green screen. Oh man. Oh. Yeah, it's not.
I think
your room isn't as cool as my room, so
you need a brighter light on you.
So I got to turn my light back on
in front of you.
On you, yeah.
Where Johnny's going to your bathroom.
Occupado.
Oh man.
You're still eating the Rice Krispies? Oh, there you go, Paul. Now Paul figured it out. He's like, he had to do it.
Holy shit, Paul. Look at you.
I'm the stuff of nightmares.
That's
for a variety of reasons. By the way, what's this here? This is my Zapruder film part.
Oh man.
What is that? What is that right there? That's back and to the left. Back and to the left. Back and to the left.
Back into the left. There had to be a second spitter.
Yeah. Mine sucks.
What is mine?
I'm sorry, it's not much I can do about it.
I'm on.
At least Michael's in all of the shots. At least Michael Anthony comes out in all the shots.
John Bale is the best background.
57 is the fade that I'm good with.
Just all of you disappear, and I'll be talking to nobody in my room.
That's the good news. The good news is I got the Michael Anthony shot. That's about the best I can get for you right there. Just my massive head and Michael.
I'll just interview my empty chair.
Oh, sure. I guess we're all going to do that. All right.
And I'll just walk away. I'm gonna use the bathroom anyway.
Jay's just by himself.
Am I? Why is it still flipping? What's going on? What the hell is going on here? Hold on, wait. Hold on, let me flip mine over. We're gonna do it right now. Okay, now we're yeah. Which it reminds me of like the bar or something late at night. You get the screen or the game with like they show you two pictures or something or four pictures and it's find the one that's different.
Yeah.
That's what this is.
Oh, look at that.
Huh?
Mo. You're gonna eat the guitars.
My dog is getting freaked out.
Oh man.
Poor dog.
Hello.
All right.
Hey.
Anybody ever seen
Hey, where's mine?
Porch Rocker? Sam Adams Porch Rocker.
No, it's good stuff.
I don't know. I'm gonna try it. Tangy. What does it say?
Ooh.
Tangy.
Refreshing and tangy lager, something like that. All right. So, is this what the show is going to be? What is
pretty much? Yeah, that's pretty much where we're at.
So, what else is new? Nesdal's room, yeah. Cobra Kai. Looks like a Zoom chat gone wild.
Oh,
yes.
Is the show over? Is the show over? It's awfully quiet.
No, I'm here.
I'm just reading the chat.
I'm here.
John BL fixed that guitar neck. Yeah.
I'm trying to do something. Oh, this is too old. Dang it. That wasn't me.
It's actually really good. Wow.
What is it, the porch rocker?
Sweet. It's very sweet. Good though. What's this? I'll have to read it. See what it says. Limited release, refreshing and tangy Radler. I don't know. It's a Radler beer. Whatever the hell. Sweet and tangy and refreshing. Inspired by the German cyclists who mixed beer with lemon, lime flavors.
Lemon, lime.
After a tough race in the porch rocker, we brewed the golden. Yeah, whatever. It's good.
I'll be with you guys in a second. I'm doing something.
Yeah. So, Paul, I guess it's you and me. What's?
I guess we're just hanging out.
Yeah. So.
I mean, I could put a background up.
Want to play some? Want to play some royalty, non-royalty music? Get Johnny in trouble?
Yeah. I mean, maybe I'll get the guitar and start playing guitar. Maybe
get some.
He'll get a phone call.
Gigi Allen. Let's play some Gigi Allen.
No. I'm still here.
Oh, okay. Johnny's still here.
No, I'm here.
Okay, good.
I'll be there in a minute.
Yeah, me too.
This is fantastic viewing for everybody.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of something we could, at least Paul and I could maybe talk about. Let's see if I made any notes this week. Anything that I said we should talk about? No. Last festival anniversary and the Renoff book. We already covered that. Show's over, folks.
Good talk.
No, it's not.
I think Jay and I are trying to do the same thing.
I can't wait to see it. Doing a little editing on there.
Let me see.
I gave you the clean picture without me in it, without my.
Where is it? Where is it?
I don't know. You can see my shoulders in the one that's on there.
You know what you should do is each one of us should have something out of place, and people have to decide what's the difference in these four pictures.
What was that? Wasn't that like hidden pictures?
Yeah, there are 8 different things got wrong in this picture. See if you can find them.
You can change the picture without being on the screen, right?
Yes. No, I think once you.
No, you have to upload it. You can do all your editing.
You can upload, but
once you take it off, once you remove the one that's there, it'll show your camera.
But if I go to upload a new one,
you can't. You gotta. Oh, you pay, so you can. You can upload it. You can upload it. Yeah, you're good.
I mean, can I do that without?
I don't know.
You know what, John? There's no need to exhibit rancor. See what I did there? That's a pun.
Yeah, exhibit rancor.
Wait a minute.
We'll wait for you. No worries.
Yeah, it's all good. You know.
Anything else we could? Oh, sorry. Don't want to interrupt. Should I be clicking on something?
You should probably be clicking on something so everybody else can make a click sound.
Johnny.
So, anything else? Oh, Jay's back. Good. Johnny's.
Am I?
Jay's there.
He's out of my room.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. We're leaving your room.
I guess I could start reading the Templeman book.
Yeah, do it.
Sure, might as well.
I mean, we're already. Let's see what we got. Which chapter should I read from? And the Cradle Will Rock. That's the first Van Halen related chapter.
How about this one?
Oh, Ain't Talking About Love, 216. Let's see.
Oh,
looking good.
Oh, that's good.
Johnny. Oh.
I'm not good enough with my Photoshop skills, but I thought maybe
Photoshop it is.
This one would be great.
Yeah, but
put that in John Biel's.
I can't wait to see John. Johnny's definitely going to be him sitting there.
He's working hard at that one.
What?
You're working hard.
I'm working too.
That's a man.
Oh boy. Thumbnail.
So we could do Templeman's first.
I'm trying to learn how to do this. It's not working.
First impressions of Van Halen when he first saw them.
Yeah, John could start doing his go F yourselves. Just do that for the next 54 minutes. Or
I'm trying to pull a little content into this. I could, like I said, I could read. Templeman's first impressions of when he first saw Van Halen on February 2nd.
Read the book to me. Read the book to me, John.
Well, put it up there so we can.
Uh-oh.
No, I thought you were gonna. All right. There you go. Once inside, I didn't go looking for Marshall Burrow. You like that, right? You're interested? All right, good. I got a captive audience here. In fact, I didn't speak to anyone. I spotted an empty table with a candle and a card with my name on it. That's right. But I didn't sit down. I bounded up the stairs to the show from the shadows. He hit me before the show. They hadn't drawn a crowd. The Starwood was almost empty. When Van Halen came on stage, it was like they were shocked. Me, especially because they performed like they were playing in an arena and not a small Hollywood club.
I can't get it. I'm trying to get on the other side of John, so it looks like John's reading to Dave. But
so my interest was piqued, even though the singer didn't impress me at that moment. That didn't matter because the guitar player blew my mind. Right out of the gate, I was just knocked out by Eddie Van Halen. It was weird to say this, but encountering him was almost like falling head over heels in love with a girl on the first date.
That is creepy as fuck.
Templeman loved him.
Clearly.
I was so dazzled. I had never been impressed with a musician as I was with him that night. I'd seen Miles Davis, Dizzy Gillespie. Yeah, I played some background music.
No, my dog. That's actually my dog's tail hitting a guitar neck.
I heard it. I had seen Miles Davis, Dave Brubeck, Dizzy Gillespie, all these transcendent artists, but Ed was one of the best musicians I'd ever seen. His choice of notes, the way he approached his instrument, reminded me of saxophonist Charlie Parker. In fact, as I watched, I was thinking there are two musicians in mind who are the absolute best: Parker, jazz pianist, Art Tatum, and now here's the third game changer, Eddie Van Halen.
wait, you're not supposed to be reading that on here.
No, that's right. We're breaking the rules, aren't we?
Oh, he's going to be here in like 2 weeks.
Okay. Well, it's an excerpt. He can read it next time. Anyway.
Well, that was green screen fun.
That was fun. Yeah. Good stuff.
I want to get an actual. Oh,
Gary.
That's gonna be my screensaver now when I get out.
Nice.
How old is that?
That's
pretty much the same.
Early 2000s at the Saddle Ranch in LA. When we walked in, it was me and a buddy of mine. We were drinking and having some buffalo wings, and there was a bunch of girls around this guy, and we were like, "Look at this asshole! He's holding cord." And they go, "Oh shit, it's Gary." So I walked up to him. That you could tell he had the frosted hair back then. This was right before he had recorded the Tribe of Judah record. So we ended up going to a bunch of parties that night. It was kind of fun. He had a nice BMW. He was, big styling for a while. We still had some Van Halen money left, I guess.
He probably made some big bucks on that project.
I'm guessing he made, his cut of the touring was probably good, but that record didn't sell shit, and I'm sure he didn't get.
Do you have an equal share of the 4?
I doubt.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Ellie.
Yeah, Charlie Parker was a great musician. One of those, it's hard to understand the first time you hear it, but like any of the greats.
Actually, let's do this.
Interpreted correctly. Anyway.
Let's fix this here. I'm going to get us a better screensaver.
Oh, this is just, we're really kind of off the rails, huh?
A little bit.
Nothing's going on. And no momentum whatsoever.
No, I think this is great.
Oh, well, as long as you're having a good time.
I think this is awesome.
63 watching, 40 thumbs up.
Yeah, leave a thumbs up. I mean, we should probably talk to the audience.
That'd be a good idea.
Leave a thumbs up.
Bring them in on it all. Yeah.
Please. Leave a thumbs up if you're watching this on Facebook, which, how is it?
How does that work?
We got 2 people watching on Facebook.
Well, that's great.
Leave a like. Make sure you share the videos. And I probably should have said this 2 hours ago, but this is also a podcast. So make sure you go over.
They've already tuned out, Johnny.
No. Make sure go over to iHeartRadio. Here, you do it like this, and log in with your Facebook and leave
some cheers.
There we go.
FACE.
Leave some comments. Log into Facebook and leave comments. You can leave like tons of there you go, man.
Nice. I have the full cutout right over there. Yeah, I took it out of the Gizmochi Blu-ray.
Boom.
There you go.
Boom.
Oh. Whose is that one? That's Paul's?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man. Which Kramer is that? That's just a backup 86, or is that...
Yeah, it's a backup.
It's a Steinberg. It's a Transtrem. That's a Transtrem on there. Hey, Julia, welcome.
Yeah, she looked good, Ben.
Yeah, just keep Val up there.
Yeah, I'm all right with that. You guys, that makes the show that much better.
She should have done more advertising for...
Except she's gone.
What?
I made her go away. I made her go away.
What was I saying? Yeah, go over to iHeartRadio. The link is right over there. Log in with Facebook and leave comments.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good idea.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And what else?
I don't know.
It does seem like the show has gone off the rails.
It's fine. It's fine.
Somebody's just chowing down munchies.
That's right.
I'm I'm having a blast. I don't know about you guys.
You're here.
Excellent.
No, I'm at John BL's.
Just hanging out.
Come on over.
By the way, that's the most aggressive picture of you I've ever seen.
Hanging out at the masturbation station.
Oh my gosh. I actually want to get an actual green screen. You know, like a real
I thought you were going to say, I actually want to get a masturbation station. Like, do they have one of those?
That's what we all thought he was going to say.
Yeah.
Johnny, they sell like green, you know, like the things you put in your car in the windshield when it's hot.
All you need is just a green blanket.
You can do that,
Right.
but they sell a green like oval thing that can like basically strap to the chair. What are you laughing? What's so funny?
I don't know.
But they sell ones that can like strap to your chair, you know? So they go like around.
Yeah. Like a wraparound.
Yeah, a reach around.
Strap on?
Actual question. This is the first question I think we've taken from the chat all night. Rico wants to know when concerts resume. When people will write insurance.
Next year?
Yeah, when people will write insurance. Club bands are out playing in clubs and stuff now, like local bands and stuff like that. But in order for a band, a touring band, and maybe Jay can answer this question as well, in order for a touring band to take on the risk and potential lawsuit, if you thought that the lawsuits at the Station nightclub fire were a big deal, that Great White was mentioned as being responsible for that fire, and when it wasn't them,
Wow.
you know, bands nowadays, they don't want to be held responsible for if people gather into a club or a concert environment and end up getting sick or somebody dies. So it's really going to come back to when the insurance companies will write a policy for a show, for a gathering. And that's really what's keeping all these live shows from happening, is nobody wants to take on the responsibility of what happens if someone gets sick and someone dies. So I can't tell you. I mean, they're speculating another year before real concerts come back. And then, you know, who's going to go?
It also depends on what happens this winter and fall and all that, you know. Who knows what's to come. So people were, you know, with the Memorial Day weekend, and I think New Hampshire kind of opened up all their beaches and stuff, and people have been posting pictures of huge crowds at the beach and everything like that. And, you know, I don't want to take that risk yet. I'm not at that point, you know. Not that I would be going and hanging out at the beach on Memorial Day weekend, but, you know, it's that's a big step to just be going out in big crowds like that. So full bars, you know, people with, you know, it's like, you know, all the restrictions are gone. You know, I'm not there yet. But.
I'm not going nowhere. Hey, Larry.
Hey, Larry Mitchell, everybody.
Larry Mitchell, come in and save us, man.
I owe Larry a
jump on and save us, man. We're having a tough night.
No, we're having a great time tonight.
I know, and I am too. We're
having a lot of fun.
It's all good.
Larry texted me a few days ago, and I never responded to his text. I didn't respond to his text.
You're a hero.
I might as well talk. Yeah, I know. Larry, I didn't respond to your text because I was going to call you to talk about
Respond now.
And now it's like 3 days later, and now I'm an asshole. I apologize. But,
yeah.
What
Jay said.
So, Larry, if you're around tomorrow, I'll give you a call, man.
Did you ever think you'd be saying that, Jay? You ever thought you'd be saying that?
Nope.
Larry, and Daryl.
He did a video.
Larry, Daryl, and Daryl.
He did a video recently about Toon Track's new Easy Bass that came out a few days ago, and I'm super interested in trying that out.
Let's get back to talking about recording and stuff. That's what we were talking. We started off and we lost track. So
that's what I want.
Jay, that's what you're talking about. Let's go.
I wanted to talk about that, but
Well, today, guys, talking about recording, I was actually supposed to be recording a band earlier this year in West Virginia.
This year?
That got postponed. So when the time comes, obviously they want me out there for X amount of days to, you know, track drums and whatever else, and then come back here and do the rest of the album, like vocals and stuff. But let me pull up this link real quick and just give you the gist of what it is. If you go to ProToolsExpert.com, there's an article.
He's an expert now.
Not me. No, this website, protoolsexpert.com. Basically, it's about recording artists remotely. Basically connecting, both of your computers, both your DAWs, you, the engineer, running the musicians or the artist's Pro Tools rig or whatever Logic, whatever you're using. So
that's kind of what I was wondering, like what the Circle's been doing and Sammy's been releasing how they're all in sync and they're all in different places.
No,
we're
talking.
All right, I'm off.
No.
Off topic again.
No, that's all edited together.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if they did that live.
Pre-production.
Okay.
I'm talking about.
None of that is done live.
Okay.
Right now, if you wanted to record a guitar track, right?
Yeah, because it's tough to get everything in sync, even though we're kind of having a conversation in sync and everything. Music is different.
No, I'm talking about if you wanted to record a guitar track, but you're like, dude, I have no idea how to record anything. I want you to record it and produce it at the same time.
Okay.
I can connect to your system, and then we can set up like an iPad on the side or something to video chat while we're doing it, and I can record you while you're sitting there and I'm sitting here. I'd control your whole system remotely. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so this article tells you about all the programs you can use for that. Basically it's a step by step instruction on how to do on how to set it all up. And I'm like, so I sent the link to that dude in that band, and I was like, dude, when the time comes, do you want to just do this? I don't have to leave the house. Are you shitting me? So,
well, I know Adobe has like a collaboration where you can, and then like the next tier, I'm in like the lower tier, but in the next tier, you can do a collaboration where you can all work on the same project at the same time in real time and all that. For any of the Adobe, I know Johnny has the same, the Adobe suite.
Adult B?
Ooh. Yeah, Adult B.
When you're talking about, recording stuff at the same time, I think it might be a little while until we get like no.
Well, that's what I was wondering. It's not there yet. I don't think it's there yet where you can sync it.
Yeah. What was that?
Was that Paul? Sample. I know. I got to do a new round of samples.
Yeah, I
always forget when we go off the rails like that. I could always go to the samples, but I'd rather talk recording.
Well, here's the thing. Literally, if we wanted to right now, I can open up my Audacity and record everything we're doing.
Yeah, we could all. Yeah, we could all do.
Yeah, so we could all do that. I mean, we could literally do that. The problem is, even with Audition, all right, and I'm here at home. Last night, I throw a track in there and I want to lay vocals on it. So I go in there and I record it, and I'm in sync on the one, all right, in my headphones, and as I'm singing it, yet when it goes to the track, it's off by a half beat because it takes a while for the drag to catch up to it. Yeah. So then afterwards you have to post-produce it and bring it back to the one and put the waves down on the beat. So there's no way you can get that timing in sync if we're doing this live.
Right.
Unless he has control over everything, and that's the singular feed into one DAW.
Yeah, but I doubt recording two people from separate different, like that type of technology isn't there yet.
And
but
Jay, by the way,
you're recording you at your system,
Great mix on the new Brian May as well. That was awesome.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
No, they're great. I mean, you do incredible work. I mean, I think we speak for all of us. You do really good mixing. Your mixing work.
Well, thanks, man. John, I appreciate that, dude.
No, it was and on a project like that with all the different sources coming in. Who's echoing? Is that Paul?
Oh, that's you guys. Yeah, because I have it folding back. I apologize.
But with all those different sources coming in, I mean, that's just and you and Jason as well. Putting that all together. But definitely, I agree, Larry.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
And we actually talked about it on the air this week and mentioned that because there's always been that question as to whether or not those things are actually live. So Mark and I were talking about it, and I said, no, they're not live. My buddy actually produced this one here, and it can't be easy for him to get all of these musicians, these individual tracks, sync them all up, produce this thing, and then have it come back and have it sound good, especially given that there are going to be mistakes. There are going to be flubs. There's going to be things that aren't synced up timing wise, and he has to clean that stuff up. It takes an incredible amount of time and effort to get all that stuff done. It's not like you can just sit there and hit play and magically 4 different squares appear and everybody is good. And you can see it in some of the circle stuff too, because the circle stuff you can see, I'm like, hey, that's not even plugged in.
Yeah.
Like they're not, some of the editing has been left to be desired.
Was it the last one that they did? The last one, when it showed Sammy, you could see in his shades, you could see Vic holding the phone, filming him.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've only seen clips of it. I haven't watched, some of the one. Just
so that meant they were together, though.
Performances, yeah.
Yeah, they were together. That's right.
That meant they were actually together.
Well, I'll say this: the three variables in doing projects like that, Paul, are we've kind of talked about this before, but this was the second like collaboration thing I've done. So the one tricky thing, obviously, as far as like sonically, is when, let's just say 12 people are sending you tracks from different places, everything sounds different. And, when everything's kind of recorded in the same studio by the same band and everything, that has that cohesiveness to it. But when I'm telling you, like 3 bass players, I think were on it. God, how many singers, man? 6.
So what's your process? Do you fix when you get these tracks? How your process of syncing and fixing?
I find I find the best sounding instrument or instruments, and
work to that.
Work them up, and then try to get everything else to
build it through that.
Do you have them send you vocals dry?
Yes. There was only one. The only person who sent me an affected file. Affected. You know what I mean?
An infected.
Affected.
There's during the middle part, the thank you part, Jason McNamara is playing the 12-string, and he sent me that track with the delay on it and the verb, and I was like, "Can you send me that dry?" He's like, "Oh, I recorded it like that, mate." Like I'm like, "Oh, that's the one thing that kind of bugs me about doing stuff like that." I'm like, "Dude, I can always add it. I can't take it out."
Yeah.
Right.
But no, other than that, man. And then there's the some people when they send the files and they don't understand the whole start of the whole song or session, like let's just say you're recording the guitar solo that's 3 minutes and 30 seconds into the song.
Yeah.
I still need that blank spot, the blank air.
You need all the dead air in front of it.
Yes, because when I import that track, everything should line up. I've got a track.
Right.
You don't know where it goes.
Yeah, it's right in the beginning of the song, and I'm like, dude, this keyboard part, like, where does it go?
What is it? Everything start with Brian May's intro, basically?
Yes, everything wrapped. Yep.
Is there a click track that they all play to?
That was the third thing I was going to bring up, dude. Is that with these types of things? I mean, Brian May is standing there playing it with somebody filming him with an iPhone, essentially, right?
And is he listening to any tracks? He's just playing it without.
So they have to play to his time.
So you got to give the drummers, like Marco Miniman played on the first one, and then Marco again on the second one with Virgil Donati, and they're 2 of my favorite drummers. Those guys, to be able to record their drumming to a guy standing there playing a guitar, not listening to anything else. Impressive as hell.
Well, that's the swing.
Yeah, and everybody else too tracking to that. Like it was just,
that's swing though. That's the thing that you lose when you use a drum machine, or or a lot of these, prog bands that are so precise in what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You lose the swing, you lose the human element, that breath, that sort of that thing that makes it groove. With a click track that can screw you as well.
I'd be interested to see how far off Brian May goes. What his tempo map is. That'd be kind of cool. Jay could do that. It's always a tempo map of Brian May.
You can put a clip.
I mean, he's an incredible. I mean, one of the top guitarists ever, and musicians ever.
Well, let's bring it back to Van Halen. I mean, Eddie doesn't play to Mike at all. He plays to Alex. That's it. And then everybody else has to catch that. You know, and if those guys
as a bass player, yeah. Well, I mean, I think they're both locked into Alex, I would say.
We've said this before.
But Eddie doesn't give a shit what Michael's playing.
No, exactly.
He's playing
I'm
Alex,
sure
no matter
mix
what.
in the monitors has not, but he's probably got Wolfgang, but he probably didn't have Michael.
Right.
Watch Live at a Net and songs like 5150 the song and Summer Nights. Alex follows Eddie a lot of the times. Because you'll hear Alex come in with the hi-hat click or something.
Right.
Eddie comes in and slows it down, and Alex kind of like, I think Eddie has more groove than, you know, probably 99% of the people in the universe.
Well, Eddie is probably more used to performing under, you know, certain substances versus Alex. You know, let's face it, when you're on coke, you tend to play a little bit faster.
But also think about the roots of their, you know, musicianship, where they came from the same place, you know, both as piano players and then, you know, into. So I think their rhythm is probably really in sync. I mean,
and you'll notice
just aside from each other mentally.
And you'll notice that some of the guitar players that we love so much, the Eddies and the Nunos, are both accomplished pianists as well, and they have a better sense of time than some guitar players. I mean, you know, you can see a guitar player trying to just hold time, and they can't, because playing their riff and staying in time at the same time is two different brain functions, and it doesn't, for a lot of guys, it doesn't work. And that's why it
depends on what your background is, because I mean, they have a specific, you know, starting on piano, each of them, you know, had their try at the drums, and then, you know, they went their roots, you know, guitar.
Yeah, no, but there's something to be said for that.
The people like that, you know, the timing is, like, you know, not really there. If you ever see anybody listening to music and tapping to the lyrics or to the word, that's those people. My dad, he's in the car, he's tapping to the words. I'm like, Dad, what the hell are you doing?
But guitar players do that too. Guitar players will do that too. They'll when they're playing, it's fine. But because I mean, super guitar players, you'll see them when they're playing, it's fine. When they're playing with the drummer, it's fine. When the drummer says, "Count with me," they're like, "Oh shit." Because getting their foot to go in time, and their hands, now you've got three different things going on at once, and one of them loses.
Well, think about the difference between, you know, a vocalist who's a drummer or a vocalist who's a guitar player, and even just their phrasing and everything else. You know, Don Henley wrote, you know, those songs, you know, for as he's playing the drums. You can't sing. It's a very different kind of singing that you would do if you're playing the drums or playing something in time as well. I mean, a guitar player versus, you know, a bass player singing versus a drummer singing and all that, or just a vocalist. It's a very, they're all different approaches.
When I sing to the drummer. I always sang to our drummer, because he's the one that's in time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If anybody else misses, you know, somewhere else, that's fine. But if you're on the beat and then you're in rhythm, everybody else can catch you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then, of course, when a guitar player or bass player is a half note off, you turn, you look at them, you give them the universal sign for a clam. You point it out. But yeah, I was always with the drummer. You guys never clammed?
Clammed?
Yeah. And if somebody misses a note, misses a beat, that's never been a hand signal for you guys? You've never heard of a clam?
Castanets?
Well, never mind.
No, you've never heard of it. Like if somebody hits a bum note, you clammed it, because it's like deadening the strings or fretting out.
I think we all learned a new term tonight.
Laugh.
Clammed it.
I call it an Arby's.
Clammed and
Clammed.
Right, you got your. What if you? Oh, clam.
What about the guitarists that can't mute strings and they're playing every chord completely open?
You know, if somebody plays a chord and they miss
nice.
You know, he clammed it.
That's what you do? Yeah. So if you hear a mistake, you just go.
Yeah, on stage we would do it. If we were on stage, we would do it. Like we would be sitting there, like we'd be in the middle of the song, and I'd be like, bah, 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 just singing whatever the song it was. And if somebody missed a bum note, I would turn and go. And it was just a little bit to say it. Like, I know I caught that. Like, and if I missed a note, I would turn and look at the guitar player. Guitar player would go.
Then he clams He clams it because then he messes up if you have to stop playing for a second.
Maybe. Yeah. If we didn't chug like you do in Gizmodo.
I would do this.
A lot of our stuff was, hello, everybody.
Did you do this, Johnny?
I'd already be holding the pick.
I thought you were doing.
And so I would show them my pick, but I'd go like this.
Did Johnny just do this?
Yeah.
Was that right there, the white power thing? Is that what that is? I don't know what that is.
No,
that was like,
it's not that.
That's what Johnny did, right?
Like punch buggy.
No,
by the way, I didn't know that I didn't know what that thing was. Like when somebody was like, they're like, this thing here, I go, what is that? They're like, oh, that's for white power. I go, no, it's not.
I never heard that.
Shut up.
Yeah.
You're reaching, you
I'm
jerk.
Play that in friggin' high school, man. Gotcha.
No, it's a circle game.
I didn't look.
Yeah, the circle game.
Yeah,
You're walking up to your friends for the first time of the day in school. You're like, you're not looking down no matter what. Man.
Of course, my favorite one was I sat in gum.
Oh, dude, I have the worst gum unclosed story that you could ever imagine. Right. So I'm in probably was seventh grade in New York. And for Christmas, all I wanted was a goddamn Chicago Bears starter jacket. That's all I wanted. Get me a starter jacket. You know, I was already like a year late to the party. Remember like starter and game and all that?
Oh, yeah.
I have one. I still have an Oakland Raiders starter jacket. It says Oakland Raiders on the back of it somewhere.
That was the biggest one, wasn't it? The Raiders was like, everybody had that one.
Yeah, because all the gangbangers, you know?
Yeah.
So I get the friggin' jacket and I'm like, I don't want to take it off. I want to wear it in bed. You know what I mean? I want to wear it in the shower. I'm not taking this thing off. So anyway, I'm sitting in the back row in music class, and my music class was cool because it was like, you know, had like the stadium seating, you know,
right?
So I'm in the back row, and there's, you know, right behind the back row, there's a line of radiators in front of the windows. Well, some little prick must have put his damn gum on the radiator. So I'm leaning over the back of the seat like this, you know, with my arm.
And it's
dude, bubble gum on my probably 2-week-old
your brand new starter jacket.
Dude, I was devastated. I got home from school and my mom was like, you know, if this was internet day, she would have been looking up how to get bubble gum off a damn jacket. So we tried like ice. I forget what the hell else we tried. We tried freezing it, the jacket, and then trying to scrape it off, dude.
It's like back when you had the leather, the suede leather jackets, you know, when those were popular. Couldn't get them wet.
It's raining, bro. I'm wearing this today.
Yeah, remember desert boots? You guys, any of you guys old enough to remember those? Those gray, the brown, they're tan
moon boots. I remember those ones.
The desert boots, yeah, that had the little rubber soles, and they were made out of suede all the way around, like moccasins almost.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Johnny. Are we keeping you up? Jay, finish your story. Mine is clearly not interesting enough.
I gotta change. My light is way too bright. That's the problem.
It's Johnny. It's all good. Leave
it alone.
We got some bubble gum stories. All
right, we all got to take a break. All right, we'll come back.
We got bubble gum stories.
Yeah, the Chukka boots. Was that the same thing as the Chukka boots? I remember the Chukka boots.
I guess that's desert boots.
Dude, Thrash Metal says I tried spitting my gum out while riding my motorcycle with a full face helmet. It stuck to my seat and ass. Who else has a I got gum on myself story? Those are always funny, man. It's the worst in the middle of the summer, and you're walking out of like, you know, Lowe's or something or Home Depot, and you step in bubble gum on blacktop, man, and it's a stream across the whole goddamn puddle.
Yeah, but then you find some sand and you just like rub it in the sand. It's not as bad as dog crap, you know.
No, especially when it's somebody else's dog crap.
Right.
But I'm like, dude, how can you spit your gum on blacktop in the middle?
I know.
Oh,
yeah. Well,
you missed a good one, Johnny.
What happened?
I was asking about gum stories, and Thrash Metal said, I tried spitting my gum out while riding my motorcycle with a full helmet, and later found it stuck to my seat and ass.
Well, it's like when you get a friend who's smoking in the front seat of your car as you're driving down the highway, and like they flick the ash and it goes into the back seat. Then a minute later you're like you start seeing, if there's nobody in the back seat to tell you, you start seeing smoke.
I did that myself one time, and luckily I spotted it before I left the car. Yeah, my seat was on fire in the back.
Trains and automobiles.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
He flicks it out the driver's side window. It goes right back in the back.
Doing the mess around.
Yeah.
Doing the mess around, man. That's the best. He's trying to take his jacket off. Like he's
driving with his leg.
Doing the mess around.
The best part is when they crash or when they go to the hall. Your wheel's bent over. And Steve Martin's fingers are in.
Yeah. It's claw marks. Such a good movie. I gotta watch. I haven't seen that in years. I gotta watch that again.
We gotta watch that in the Discord.
That's another watch party.
That's one of the best parts of any like comedy ever. Just that whole part is flawless. Look at this guy driving on the wrong side of the road.
When he turns into the devil, like he looks next to him and he turns into the devil.
Yeah, that's right. Oh man.
You guys talking about planes, trains, and automobiles?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Never seen it.
Nah.
Never seen that?
Oh.
Nope.
You got to watch it in the Discord with us.
And you were talking about Midnight Run last week. That's another. I
Love
meant
Midnight
to
Run.
watch that at some point this week. I'll watch that. It's
Never
very
seen
soon. That's a
Another
great one.
Another great movie too. Surprisingly good because I didn't think it was going to be good because I hate Charles Grodin, but he's great.
Was
in
that
this.
Robert Zemeckis or who directed that? Or
I think it's I don't know. John Biel.
Was it
John Biel? Who was it? John Biel. John
Dingbat?
Biel. Tell us.
What's his name? Dingbat. Rob Reiner.
Ben Tom. Yeah. Come to the Discord, man. Definitely.
Dan,
Everybody in here should be coming to the Discord, man. Everyone.
Martin Brest. What?
What? That's
What?
who directed it. Yeah, Martin Brest. Martin Brest. All right, Martin.
What that thing behind you? What is that thing called again? And don't move it because his tail looks like his Donecker.
What?
Oh,
Donecker. This thing?
Yeah, look at it.
Oh, I know.
Come on. Oh, you cocked it up.
It's like he's got a big turd coming out of him.
No, it looked like it was.
yeah, that's what it is.
It was his Wang Chung.
This is Red Rocket.
He's like dog crap color.
He is.
That's what he is. That's like the worst.
Johnny?
It's the worst color.
Again, this is like this is how old? This is 35 years old. It's probably changed color over the years.
It's probably going to pay for Ellie's college.
What is John going to be dating Ellie or something later?
God.
Possible.
Jay, I'll spare you that.
Don't knock it until you see how much that thing's worth.
I know. I'll be calling you in 15 years. You still got that?
Ellie's still single.
Ellie will be 12.
You still have the rank. You still have the rancor. Marry her.
That's your dowry. What do you give in consideration for marriage? You got that rancor?
I also shared with you guys there was a view some guys watching Empire Strikes Back and doing a whole commentary on that.
That was horrible, man.
That was cool. Those guys had some really cool insight on it, and some of them were actually actors on the Disney Rebels or something like that.
I watched.
They actually had some really cool insight on that.
I thought they were actually watching it. They weren't.
They were. But you couldn't see it. You had to sync it up with your own.
Had a number on the screen. It's if you want to join us, you go to the movie and you put it to this part. It had like a timer that was going.
Mm-hmm.
I thought
I don't know.
I'd be watching.
Go back and watch the whole thing.
It's
Cool. Well, you got to sync it with your own because Johnny knows you can't be playing those things. But
by the way, Julia Baldessari has a question.
Julia.
Okay, please. Anything.
Where is it?
Thrash Metal's kids sang the cover to United Forces. That's awesome. Little SOD reference.
Awesome. All right, we've got a question now.
Thank you.
The pressure's on, boy.
Save the show.
We have a question.
He did not know the answer was Deuteronomy. It's a running scared reference.
Deuteronomy.
Oh man.
She wants to get a multi-effects unit. Okay.
Which one?
Rack.
Paul's got one for you.
Is Zoom good?
Zoom's good.
Is that a Zoom?
No, this is a pod. Line 6 pod, 500.
Oh, it used to be over there.
Yeah, it used to be over there. I actually wiped it clean. I'm in the process of learning how to use it.
Yeah, we gotta take a look at that, man.
They're awesome. They're awesome.
And Zoom is kind of the same thing as Line 6. I mean, at the same time, they were both doing the kind of early digital effects all-in-ones.
This is a Zoom.
Yeah, that Line 6 is one level below their Helix, which is their top of the line deal. And it's comparable, it's comparable to the Helix or the Head Rush. It's way more, probably way more effect and way more amp modeling than a bedroom guitar player will ever need. I mean, that's the kind of thing you can use on stage. I bought it off of some kid on OfferUp for like, I don't know, $250 or something like that. And they retail for like $400 or $500.
Mm-hmm. Well, what do you think of that, Julia? Paul just didn't tell you which one to buy.
You know what? Zoom stuff is great. Digitech is no longer making things anymore. So you're going to have to, I think Digitech is out of business. So keep in mind.
What's the Zoom for?
The thing is, Julia, the thing is, okay, cool, awesome. Yeah, anything made today is pretty good.
Yeah,
any of it.
Yep.
Well,
then go buy, Julia. Look at look on OfferUp or Craigslist and find a used like Zoom 505 unit or something like that, which are.
Zoom was one of the first companies that actually put it into pedal form, and back in the early 90s, I think Zoom was really the forefront.
My friend had one of those and left it at my house, and I used to use that. It's like the double pedal thing.
That's right. Now I know I know what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, the Zoom 505 is a fantastic little unit, and you can get it for less than $100. You could probably pick one up for $50 right now used.
You can get one right now on eBay for $40.
Yeah, I mean it's buy it now for $40. It's worth it. It's actually worth it. It's a cool little unit, and it's programmable too.
Throw that link in the chat, man.
Yeah, nowadays you can get a lot of those multi.
It looks like this.
Great prices.
Yeah, although I mean I don't know. It depends what you. Yeah, that's it right there.
That's an older one, right? That's one of their first.
Yeah, if you go if you go to
the old one.
I had that goddamn thing.
Yeah, everybody.
Here you go. Here you go, Julia. I'll give you another one that's relatively cheap that you can get off Reverb right now.
Yeah, and I'm not saying to get this. This is just the one I was talking about.
Boss GT3 multi-effects unit for $40.
I love that thing. The GT.
Yep.
Well, I mean, this is what I've used this for years. It's just a Line 6, and then you get the software online, and it's just you got
on
one
Line
input.
6.
Mm-hmm. And then USB and line out. Mm-hmm. And this, I've had this for at least 15 years, and as long as you get the software, you can get all the software libraries on, or the emulators kind of. You can get different amps. You can get different amps and stuff like that online.
Julia, hit that link that I just sent you. I just Googled cheap multi-effects units. There's a whole bunch of them there that you can get for cheap money.
Yeah, I had a Boss effects. I've always loved.
Yeah, Boss does a great job. I mean, their pedals were great to begin with.
Yeah, built like
their analog pedals are. Yeah,
they're Roland. I mean, they're the kind of the originators of MIDI and a lot of that stuff.
So, Julie, out of the Zoom and the Boss GT3, I think I owned the Zoom and it was very short lived. But the GT3 I had for a little bit, and then when the GT was it the 5? I forget which one it was. Let me look up the GT.
Can't go wrong with Boss.
Yeah, I mean, and it's going to run forever. I mean, Boss is also well made. Like if it's a stomp box, you can beat the shit out of and not worry about it breaking.
Boss GT3, dude. I bet the GT3 is the last one that I had, and it was effing awesome.
Yeah, they are. They're great.
Julia, thank you for asking a good question.
Yeah,
helping us out.
No, it's funny because
look at those. I mean, the Boss were the high quality. I mean, and they had a lot of different ones. Different
How much
versions.
those go for, dude?
What that Boss GT3?
They're beautiful too.
The one I saw on Reverb is $40.
Dude, Mike Balls, the other guitar player in my band, still has his GT3 and still uses it for all the effects. And it's
the blue one in that picture?
Yes, the blue one.
That blue one, just like that, for $40 on Reverb right now.
Julia, it's built like a tank. You will definitely be happy with it.
And aren't they like fully MIDI compatible and everything else? Like you can put a keyboard through that, and it would be.
You can put vocals through it too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Paul, show us yours. Go kind of. Let's just see it.
This is ridiculous.
I mean, that's cool as shit, man. I always wanted one of those. When you first start playing guitar and you see those in like the magazines, those are the crazy.
Send Julia that one. There you go.
Yeah, no.
Hell yeah.
But this thing is, it's got software that you would use.
Do you know how old that is?
Your computer. You can basically set up any effects chain, amp modeling effects chain. Every one of these things is a patch or a stomp box. You can have this thing set up as just effects or as effects chains. That there's a tempo switch that's also activates with a part of the looper. It's got an 80-second looper, so you can basically sample your own guitar riffs, your rhythm track.
I heard that.
And solo over it or whatever you want. This is either a volume pedal or a wah-wah pedal. And everything, you can't see it because it's so lit up, but that LCD display has the entire amp chain in it. There's software that you download. It's easier to do it. Just USB this thing. If you want to talk about whether or not it's compatible with anything, it's compatible with everything. This thing here, you can bring it.
Oh man, let's see the inputs and outputs. Let me see those inputs and outputs.
Wire it into the PA. You don't have to bring cabs. You don't have to bring a head. You don't have to bring anything. This is your entire rig in a box. It's the only thing. There are two things better than these right now out there. There's the head rush and the helix. Other than that, this is all you'd ever need from effects. You get 12 different effects at once, or amp chains, modeling chains, and all that stuff. It's ridiculous. I have no idea how to use it.
It sounds like you just gave a damn demo on it.
I know. That's built like a tank. That's really. Is it all metal? All metal casing? Construction. You can power it off now.
Dude.
What?
I want mine back, man. That thing was awesome.
Yeah.
And Boss was kind of... Okay, go ahead.
Any of this stuff is fine. But Julia, are you still here? What are you going to use it for? Are you going to use it for recording? For playing, for playing through live? I mean, you can use it for both. You can use any of this stuff for any of that.
Is there a direct out on those? A direct output?
Yeah. Thrash Metal asks, how do you make a quick change live on the fly mid-song?
There you go, Johnny.
You have two different patches. You have the same patch amp chain set up, and you can have one bank be your model, your amp model, and then the second bank can be an effects rack that you can add and drop and add and subtract from the chain. So there's no lag at all.
I remember that thing being super smooth when it changed patches.
What, the GT3?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a great. I mean, it's clearly outdated now, but for $40, you can't get a decent stomp pedal for $40.
People were saying in the chat that the $40 was the one that was broken or something, non-functioning.
All right.
But,
even if it's $100, I mean, that's a great buy.
And I'd definitely get that over that Zoom.
I would too. Yeah.
Yeah, Boss is a, been around for a lot, and Boss and Roland are bigger companies, I would say, than Zoom.
Well, they're the same.
Better quality. I mean, better quality build quality anyway. Zoom was a lot of plastic. I mean, Zooms are great, and I mean, I've played different Zoom pedals, but I think Boss always had like all aluminum and metal construction, more rugged. And they had different versions of that. The GT, what's the GT3 compared to like is it just the next generation, or is it actually different effects? GT3 versus like GT4 or GT1?
Well, yeah, I just think it's an updated version of it.
All right.
Yeah,
how much?
The next one had, I think, 2 pedals or something like that. GT5 or some shit, was it?
Who did the one that Dime used? The pitch shifter one.
Yeah.
Which one was that? Was that Boss?
Yeah, I think so. Well, you mean the Digitech Whammy?
The Whammy, that's what it was, yeah.
I made that one. I have one of those right over there.
Yeah, I have one.
And there were several different versions of that. I think Dime used one of the early versions, and it was
Tom Morello. Tom Morello used the early one.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he. It's
a different sound. It's like
the reissue. My problem with the Digitech Whammy, the reissue was like you didn't even have to even turn it on. You would just plug it in, and your tone sounded different.
Yeah,
it didn't sound the same. So I would use it for recording. I really didn't like having it plugged in any other time because you could tell the tone. It just what do you call it? Sucked. It sucked the like the highs. It sucked like the highs right out of your tone. Just having the thing just plugged in.
I just sent you a brand new one, John, that I just saw on. It's a cheap Digitech for $100.
Oh, happy birthday, John.
That's something I haven't looked up on like on eBay. I haven't looked through pedals and stuff like that. But
let's look through your browser history.
I'll pull it up if you want. It's not much.
This thing, 38 different pedal effects, 12 amps, 9 speaker cabinets to choose from.
Is that an eBay? Like an eBay?
No, this is just Guitar Center. Oh. Not that I would, I'm just shooting some new stuff at you.
Nice.
Great stuff, man.
Man, I'm excited about all the just the effects within Logic.
It's almost infinite when you get into the current kind of.
Is that the clown?
DAWs.
No, that was me. That was me actually grabbing another mosquito.
Is that a clam?
Wow.
That's weird.
Pick that up, you slob.
Oh man. It's all good.
Oh my gosh. So what? 5 seconds?
Well, yeah, I know.
4, 3.
Well, we finally made it to almost the end of the show.
1.
Woo!
Not yet. We're not done yet.
You got some fuck off to do.
Yeah, now it's time for John's fuck offs.
Fuck off, everyone.
Dang.
That's it. That's all you get.
Man.
I didn't hear it. I missed it.
Well, you got to go replay it.
Man.
Oh,
wait. Oh, it's okay. So yeah, we've been on 3 hours.
Who wants F-offs? Come on, John.
I know Bent Tom wants an F-off. So fuck off, Bent Tom. Have a great week.
Happy Memorial Day. Fuck off.
And while I'm at it, Johnny J, Paul, fuck off and have a great week too.
I like even more now.
Wow.
I guess it is a fuck off. I mean, I guess that's like my natural. If I'm gonna say it, that's the way I naturally.
I want you to be honest with us, John. Don't fake it.
No,
speak from the heart.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Who else wants one? Come on,
Sean Zimmerman, fuck off as well.
You want some? Who wants some? You want some?
Oh, God.
Shop smart. Shop S-Mart.
Get in line.
Who wants some?
John BL is handing out F-off.
Well, Rancor can say, fuck off.
Oh, nobody else? Come on.
It's a slow night. How many viewers do we have?
They've been slowly, 47 watching. Looks like the thumbs up have not moved for at least an hour. 41 thumbs up.
Hang on, let me.
If you didn't give a thumbs up, John, what can they do?
They can fuck off, just like you, Jay.
Oh my God,
Jay, I want you to fuck off as well.
Oh my God.
I guess this is what it's come to. So, whatever. I did have a good time tonight. So it's all good.
Fun. Look at him.
Cheers! I've got that the Sam Adams porch rocker, which is actually really good. Sweet lemony zest in my Cabo.
Steve Carmichael wants one.
Hold on, you got Michael Anthony handing out fuck offs. Look at him.
I know, right? Tells it like it is.
Michael Anthony had a good hair guy at one time. That was not that time.
No,
that's not really he can't do a fuck you.
God. That's what that Rancor smells like.
Who's having more fun? John BL with his fuck offs or John Beane with his fart machine?
Right? What Johnny? Oh no, who was playing? You were. I guess it was last night. You were playing the dog barks or something. Because Dave. Oh God.
Oh, the dog barks.
That one hurt. Oh, sorry.
You're missing a few people here. Steve Michael wants
drop
one.
Something there.
Michael wants one. Dave, you Caldwell wants one.
Absolute children.
Oh my God. Family Guy. Seth MacFarlane had the best. Whenever they did Family Guy, that was what.
Gentlemen, that was
a cop. I said shart a couple weeks ago to Jeannie. She had no idea what a shart was. I was like, if you think you fart.
I had at least one shart.
I thought I had to fart, but I shit.
I had a shart. I was driving to New Haven and I had a shart.
Is that why you didn't go to the concert?
No. Excuse me.
And I remember going to the bus stop and getting to the bus stop, man. And I had a huge fart. I was like, "Hey guys, lifted my leg."
It wasn't a fart.
Gentlemen, that was a fart.
You guys have any shit your pants story?
That's about it.
Come on.
I told you I was driving to New Haven. Driving to New Haven and I had a shart.
You shit your pants?
Yeah. I had to pull over into some like cul-de-sac and I thankfully I had like laundry with me because I was going back to school or whatever and oh God.
Johnny Beane, Johnny Beane, I have a request. Can we see your camera shot right now? Because I know you're
right?
doubled over laughing right now.
Let's see.
I know you're uncontrollable right now laughing. Of course, we don't get your camera shot.
Nothing.
He can't speak. He's laughing so hard.
Nothing, Johnny. That's a great shot too. Come on, like detail. Look at that
thumbnail.
Does anybody know the Palisades Parkway in New Jersey?
I've heard of it.
Anybody out there?
Oh my gosh!
Like the Bear Mountain Bridge and stuff like that. Oh well.
What?
Like the Jersey Turnpike?
No. Well, my cousin shit his pants on the Palisades Parkway. I'm coming home one morning. This one cracked me up. If anybody knows, when you leave New York City, there's those couple lookout points or whatever, like rest stops when you first get on the Palisades that kind of like look across the Hudson to New York City. So he's getting on the Palisades and he shits his pants. So he gets out of his car and nobody was at the lookout, you know. He gets out of his car and takes his pants off, and he had a blanket in the back of his SUV. So he wraps a blanket around himself. Next thing you know, he gets back on the road. He's going to run out of gas. So he like barely gets to the Bear Mountain Bridge and has to call his dad. He's like, Dad,
I need some pants.
You got to meet me at the gas station at Bear Mountain. I shit my pants and I'm going to run out of gas. He couldn't get out of the car because he shit his pants. So his dad had to drive up to Bear Mountain, pump his gas for him.
Oh my God. Damn.
And it's Jersey too. So Jersey, you're not supposed to pump your own gas.
No, Bear Mountain when you get into New York.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't have a shit my pants story, but I did piss myself. Well, twice. The first time, freshman year of college, I was at a party at Brandeis University. I went to Framingham State, and we went to a party at Brandeis on Friday night.
Brandeis a girls' school?
No, Brandeis.
No, not Brandeis. What am I thinking of?
God, let him tell us. All right.
So we go to Brandeis, and they're playing club football on Friday night, and then you play NCAA football on Saturday. So we're there at this club football game, and my buddy and I we were like honorary, I forget the name of the frat, but we had our own pledge. So they were doing beer runs for us all night. We end up passing out in the dorms, some football player's dorm. I woke up the next morning, I'm soaking wet. I've pissed myself in my sleep.
Are you sure your piss?
Yeah. And I don't say anything to anybody. And you can't smell it yet because it's still wet. So we get in my buddy's Volkswagen Scirocco and we drive back.
Scirocco.
And we drive back to Framingham State. And I don't even bother. I just go right to the locker room for football, take off all my clothes, throw them in my locker, put on all my football gear. Never told anybody a word. That's story number one of pissing myself. Story number two, my ex-girlfriend, my girlfriend at the time. Yeah, my girlfriend at the time, she goes to Connecticut College, which is down in New London, right across from the Coast Guard Academy. After football, I go down to her college, and we go to whatever college parties are going there. And it's just like outside Providence. It's like one of those Ivy League rejection schools. So we're all drinking. Back to the dorms we go. I'm staying in her dorm room. Middle of the night, I get punched in the face.
Just because.
And I don't realize it. So I wake up. We're bare ass, but I wake up and it's my girlfriend, and she goes, "Go to the bathroom." Oh. Well, apparently we were in bed spooning, and I just pissed. Pissed the bed while she was there in my arms. Oh. And I got my arms around. I've got my arms around her. Because we're spooning. I got my arms around her, and I just start pissing in my sleep, and she's trying to get away. So I get in the face to wake me up. So I'm bare-assed, and her bed is already soaked. But she's like, go to the bathroom. So I'm like, okay. So I get up naked. opened the door to her dorm room, walked down the hallway in the all-girls dorm, bare-assed, walked into the girls' room. There were girls in there, everybody's up and around drunk in the middle of the night. I just walk in there, bare-assed, kick the door open to the stall, just hang it, finish my piss, walk back naked back. Don't think twice about it. By the time I get back into her room, the top mattress of her bed, which is urine soaked now, is on the floor. And she goes, "That's where you are for the night." I'm like, I don't give a shit. I was drunk. I just laid down, went right back to sleep.
Oh my goodness. Thank you for sharing that.
Hey, it's not as good as shit myself, but I think 2 piss stories should equal 1 shit story.
Well, what's more embarrassing? I think
pissing myself is more embarrassing.
With another person, yeah.
I think a pissing your pants story is more embarrassing than a shit in your pants story because everybody's got that moment.
Yep. Nope. That
wasn't a fart.
I was so drunk I didn't know I was pissing, and I didn't care. Didn't care. Couldn't care less. Now, you guys have seen how drunk I've been on this show. It was worse than that.
Hey, awesome. AI Gaming is here. We're just talking about pissing and shitting.
Oh my god, yeah. Just winding up the show where it's all good.
Hey, AI Gaming, welcome.
Mickey Settlemeyer has decided to chime in on what multi-effects pedal we should get.
Oh,
at
good.
12:07, he decides the 505 and the G2 are your choices.
Oh, good. Hopefully,
that was like 20 minutes ago. But
yeah,
cool.
Hopefully he's 20 minutes behind in the viewing there.
That's what I'm guessing. He's 20 behind on the stream, so to speak. Wait,
just Mickey, stop it there, Mickey. Just stop it there.
Mickey, speaking of streams, there's a story coming up in about 20 minutes you're really going to like.
Good segue.
So back to my shitting the pants story.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were done.
Finish that. Thank you.
I apologize, Jay.
That one's done, but mine, when I shit my pants.
Oh, okay.
One of the many times,
Hang on a second.
I walked to the bus stop, and I got to the bus stop, and my buddies are there and stuff, and I was like, "Hey guys, listen to this." Lifted my leg, and I was like, "Oh, I didn't have to fart." I've tried to play it off. So what I did was, I'm like, I can't go to school with shit cheeks. So I was like, it's not my homework, and then I walked back home, told my mom I forgot my books, and she had to drive me to school. I just, of course, changed my ass out, but
who did the laundry?
Who knows, man.
So your mom did the laundry, so she eventually found out you shit
No,
yourself.
I'm sure I hid them, and then next maybe over the weekend or something when she went to work, I probably during the day did my own wash one pair of undies.
By the way, Shit Cheeks is a great name for a band or an album.
Yeah, see that's what happens when, if you just shit your butt cheeks, that's what happens. Yeah, how many times does that happen where you're like, "Oh man, did I shit my pants?" You get in the bathroom.
It didn't hit the underwear yet.
It didn't hit it. You're like, "Yes."
Oh, thank God! I've got time. I've got time.
Or you shit yourself, but you haven't hit the underwear yet, but your sweaty balls did. So now you still have a spot.
Yuck.
It's not shit and it's not sweat.
I didn't shit my pants, but I shit my cheeks.
Shit my cheeks.
That's when you better have baby wipes.
Oh.
This is the best part of the show. For those people that tuned out early, 14 minutes late, people that tuned out at midnight are missing the best part of the show right now.
Robot Chicken, they did a kind of a parody on that. And the guy has to go to the bathroom. And in the meantime, one of the stormtroopers takes the place of the guy who's got to go to the bathroom. He's running away. And it's like, it's gone from prevention to triage. And he just, I don't know. I just thought of that as well.
We all joke now, but in 20 years, shitting yourself is going to be a real part of your day.
Yep. I hope not.
It's going to be a real part of your day. Yeah. When you're in your 70s, you'll still be, ooh.
You'll be happy for it.
What kind of strings do you guys use, Steve Carmichael?
Good ones.
Johnny, we haven't heard your story yet.
He's not going to tell us.
We all admitted to a little.
We don't even know his real name.
I know,
yeah, you guys said earlier. I don't say nothing.
It doesn't reveal.
Why would I talk about this?
Yeah, I know, man. That's why I'm not even asking him.
This is horrible.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what kind of strings I use, though. I use Ernie Ball. And those.
D'Addario's.
Yep. D'Addario's, yeah. Every day.
Every day.
I got to change the strings on my acoustic, and I hate it.
I got to change.
Oh, I'm glad you said your strings.
I hate it. I hate changing the strings on the acoustic. Fucking bridge pins never stay. Fight with them.
What is Ben?
They sound great. When you would change the strings on an acoustic, it sounds great.
Yeah, it never sounds better than the first time you strum them after you change them. And then after that, you're like, wow, this guitar isn't a piece of shit.
Yeah, right. And then the next day.
And then they settle in, and you're like, oh yeah, I remember now.
They sound like shit.
And then they start making your fingers smell real bad. And you're like, I don't even want to play this guitar anymore because an acoustic guitar that has like, kind of old strings.
Oh, these are beautiful. You play it for 10 minutes, and the cowboy chords, all those first 3 frets are just black. Like, Jesus.
It's because acoustic strings are like copper and brass, aren't they? And that tarnishes real quick. I mean, compared to the steel or the nickel ones that you use on an electric.
Mm-hmm. I get the elixirs if I can, because your top 3 they have that little coating on them.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Steve Carmichael, thank you so much, man. Yeah, it was last hour has been unbearable.
And the greatest hour in this history of this show. By the way, Mister, I just ran fart sound effects for 12 minutes.
Oh, that part was funny.
But
hello, Glass House.
He wasn't on camera when he did it, though. So
yeah.
Ben Tom actually, he says, "What's the elixir coating do? It doesn't allow the strings to go out of tune. It's like the elixir coating is like it's almost like a felt. You know what I mean? It's like a sheath around the string itself.
Well, it's like a Teflon, isn't it? Like a Teflon kind of thing.
It's almost like it's like a felt. And it's hard to describe, but it's like a thin layer of material that doesn't allow the oils of your fingers.
It's like Teflon, yeah. I think it's kind of along the same scientific, chemical basis of.
I thought it just protected the strings. It made them, last longer and stuff because you couldn't like your oils and acid.
Yeah, the oils of your fingers don't stain the strings. Don't screw up the strings.
Yep. Wait, what the hell's going on? Is that 2 hammerhead sharks on your shirt? What?
Paul?
Not me.
2 hammer. Well, it's not Jay. I got my Nerd Halen shirt on.
No, mine is that's like a green skull from a motorcycle club friend. Yeah, it's a Yankee shirt. Nice job, Carmichael. Oh, behind Jay. What's behind you? The T-shirt behind you, Jay.
Oh, that's Rat Salad, our buddy John Bolware's old band.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Carmichael.
Is it Gore-Tex?
According to Elixir, they say that they're coated with something called nanoweb, polyweb, and optiweb. Whatever the hell that is. Not to be confused with the OptiWeb.
I prefer the OptiWeb.
Not to be confused with the OptiGrab. Damn these glasses. Nobody got the OptiGrab joke?
No, missed that one.
Fuck you. It's the jerk.
That's a good movie.
The OptiGrab.
I haven't seen that since I was a baby. It's true.
Since you were a baby and you remember it?
I used to watch all that when I was a baby. I used to watch all that stuff.
Wow.
Ben Tom said he has uber acidic sweat. So those strings might benefit you. Because I remember when they first came out or were first a thing, I tried them and they felt cool, but they just felt too weird. And I couldn't get used to it. But
they're good on an acoustic.
Is that the brand Elixirs, or is that a
Elixir is the brand?
I know I've heard of them, but I didn't know if it was like a by the company that makes Gore-Tex. Is that the same?
It's Gore-Tex.
Yeah, it's Gore-Tex.
Costanza's jacket.
Yeah, the one where he was in the liquor store and he knocked over all the bottles.
Saddam Hussein's double parked.
That's right.
Yep.
And Kramer didn't have, his car didn't have any heat.
So Saddam Hussein.
Jerry and Elaine are at the bakery.
Yep.
By the way, I guess
I'm afraid of Elaine.
While we're talking about Seinfeld, we should tip a cap and raise a glass to the late Jerry Stiller.
Jerry Stiller.
Oh man, yeah.
Jerry Stiller, who was
one
awesome.
of the greatest.
Yeah, he was. You couldn't pick a better actor for that. He just it was perfect.
Plus, he was great as Murray Ballstein in Zoolander.
That's right. Yeah, I only saw that like once.
King of Queens as well. That was a great role too. You know,
it was always the same character, but it was a great character.
Oh yeah, but yeah,
the best, man, with the outtakes of him talking about what was the condo or the when his parents moved and they where did they live?
Del Boca Vista. Del Visto Becco.
Yes, he's like, he can't.
I always thought that was faked. I don't know. It didn't seem real to me. Like he was making mistakes on purpose. It seemed like, but it was. I mean, hell, it was hilarious. him and Elaine when him and Elaine are going at it too, or Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
And then when Kramer stops in traffic and uses
he stopped short.
He stopped. It's my move.
I stopped short.
It's funny. I have the entire series of Seinfeld in their little refrigerator, the DVD set that came in like Jerry's refrigerator. Stuff. Never watched it.
Well, because they're syndicated. They're
on all TV every day.
Yeah.
Like, I bought them when they first came out. Each series, each box set.
Yeah.
Not like what you have, but like each season when it would come out, I would go and I would buy it.
Well, and the good thing was it was on film, so it's like Blu-ray. You can get like the high quality. Now they did the whole widescreen versions that they play on. I mean, compared to a lot of the '80s stuff that was shot on video, and you can't really upgrade that. Now you can upgrade those Seinfelds, and they'll last forever. I mean, because the negatives were all kept.
There was an article on Jerry. I guess I saw it this week. It was, why didn't he ever do anything after Seinfeld? And he says he doesn't like seeing old people on TV.
King of Queens was great, and he did that for a good how long? 10 years? I don't know, 5 years at least.
No, I was talking about Seinfeld. Seinfeld said, "Why didn't he do anything after Seinfeld? Why didn't
Seinfeld do anything?"
And he's like, and to me, it was like, I don't know. There's a whole lot of zeros that explain why he didn't have to do Seinfeld after that. I mean, he's got the kind of fuck you money to tell fuck you money people to go fuck themselves.
Yep.
And he's done a couple movies too. I mean, not only the Beane movie, but he also did like the comedians.
The
Driving with Cars.
Yeah.
But then there was the other one before that, like just the Comedian, I think was the name of the actual movie, Comedian.
Yeah.
So
he's a guy that made a whole lot of something out of nothing and made it work. And good for him.
Well, and Larry David was a huge part of that too. And
yeah,
Larry David's humor is just even beyond Jerry Seinfeld's humor. I think the two of them together were the pinnacle of humor. But
they're the modern day.
I think Larry David's even funnier than Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah, they're the modern day Carl Reiner and Mel Brooks. Those guys.
John, I kind of agree with you because when you watch Seinfeld, what makes it, I mean, obviously they're all funny, but what makes it work is the chemistry, between the four of them.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And with
the writing, just the writing in general.
Curb Your Enthusiasm, there's scenes with just him, and it's like he doesn't need that supporting cast with him. I think to make his stuff work.
If you haven't seen it, you should watch the Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, the one with Seinfeld and Carl Reiner and Mel Brooks when they go over to Mel Brooks' house for dinner. It is phenomenal. I mean, Carl Reiner and Mel Brooks are still whip smart, and Seinfeld is in awe of them. The idea that a guy like Jerry Seinfeld can be humbled is pretty cool. It's a great episode. If you haven't had a chance to check that one out, that is just when we lose Mel Brooks and Carl Reiner, that's going to be tough. That's like the world is going to be infinitely less funny.
Two of the greatest writers in comedy history.
Yeah. And I think that's what Larry David and Jerry Seinfeld were for this generation, is the new level of that. And I think, Stephen Merchant and Ricky Gervais had that same thing.
Sure. Yep.
I mean, if you've never watched Life's Too Short, you're missing out on one of the funniest shows.
Warwick Davis, definitely. It was a great, short-lived series, but no pun intended.
Life's Too Short. It's about Warwick Davis, he was Willow. Huh. He's the little person that was in Willow.
Wicket.
He was Wicket.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
And he's trying to resurrect his career because he's been divorced and he needs the money. And he opens up his own agency for little people to get into movies. And he's constantly trying to hit up Ricky Gervais, who's is quote unquote a friend who's just trying to avoid him. If you haven't seen it yet, Google Liam Neeson improv. And you will double over.
A lot of good cameos in that one, yeah.
Yeah, Liam Neeson improv is good, and when Warwick Davis gets his award, is another thing where he's got a trophy that's sitting on the third or fourth shelf of a bookcase, and it's at his ex-wife's house, and she's like, "Do you want me to get this for you?" He's like, "No, I got it," and he climbs the bookcase to get the award. And constantly falls. It's fucking like double over laughter funny.
Didn't he build a stairway to his peephole in his doorway?
Yeah,
he built a stairway to his peephole.
Yeah, if Life's Too Short is the name of the series. I think it was only on one or two seasons, but really, really funny. But Liam Neeson improv is the kind of stuff that the idea that you'll see Liam Neeson do anything resembling comedy is
right.
It's brilliant.
It's too short,
except for Anchorman.
2011, 2013, huh?
Yeah, it was like 2 seasons. There aren't many of them either. There might only be like 12, 15 episodes. It might be that.
It was much. 1 or 2 seasons. I think they did,
but really good.
And it was all. Remember that? What was the other one? When Ricky Gervais did his Ricky Gervais show, where they animated the podcast.
Yeah, that was pretty good too.
That's some of the best comedy material with who was the
Carl Pilkington.
Carl Pilkington, and then they did the whole Discovery Channel with Carl.
An idiot abroad.
An Idiot Abroad. Oh my God, that was
hilarious.
Some of the best. If you haven't seen that. Idiot Abroad and the Ricky Gervais show. I'm gonna have to watch some of the Ricky.
Yeah, the Ricky Gervais show was great. It started off. It was just animated, but it was them doing a podcast.
Man,
and Carl Pilkington. Apparently that's not an act. He really is that way.
Right,
which makes it even funnier.
Yeah, playing the dumb guy, but
it's 3:30.
Yeah, I'm good, but
I'm screwed.
We've given you guys some homework. Don't forget to watch some of those shows. And
the last 29 minutes have been the best. I'm not sure they were worth the first 2 hours and 40 minutes, but okay.
Oh, it was.
Oh man. Well, another Straturday night. Thank you, folks.
And fuck off, right, Paul?
Oh my gosh,
that was
the anger.
Come on, John.
No, this is all I got. Cheers, folks. Wait. Cheers.
Wow.
I just know that it's been so quiet in my house for the past 45 minutes that as soon as I walk through that door, it's just going to be a fucking disaster area. There's just going to be shit. My dogs are going to be sitting in the middle of whatever it is that they chewed up and blew up. They're going to be like, "Hi, Dad. Aren't we cute?"
Isn't it like, what time is it over there? It's
12:27
noon. Oh, so you're only at midnight. Noon. I said noon. Not quite noon.
Yeah, it's only noon 30 here.
Jay,
my sundial.
Jay, check out that link that I sent you. My friend Stephanie is intimately acquainted with that couch.
I don't.
She's an enthusiastic participant.
Johnny, cut his mic. I don't think he wants us to hear that.
What was it?
See, I've got a great beard. Look at that.
That's
Jay
good.
loves his hair.
Whoa. Oh.
You look like Sam.
Ouch.
What did that hurt? Who's doing it?
It's easier for us to buy that if we don't see your hands back and forth like this.
What's your cue, Johnny?
Are we going to read the credits?
Oh, God.
Oh, who's doing that?
Well.
I'm
It's 3:30.
Yeah, I'm good.
You still got to read everybody. You got to tell everybody on that list to F off, man.
Well,
I'm actually. You can hear me, right?
echo.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm trying to do a raid.
To who?
There. Fender Guru is live. I'm trying. The problem is I can't have. Here. Is everybody in here? We got some people. We got 40 people. Okay. Let's all go over to Fender Guru's house.
We got a picture of him?
Well, that's what I was trying to do, but I can't have the volume on in the picture at the same time. It creates that loop. That's why you're hearing that. Yeah, it's not for comedy, although it is funny. Okay, they're still live. Good. The British Electric Blues Show.
Oh, are we doing a raid?
Yeah. Yeah, I want to do a raid. I mean, that's the problem, is I can't. How can I? Wait a minute.
Let's put the link in the chat.
I put the link in the chat, but I wanted to share their screen.
Oh.
That's what I'm trying to do, and that's. Okay, here's the link. Don't go over there yet. Oh, Julia, you're welcome. She says we saved her money with the multi-effects.
Oh, cool. Well, my PayPal is. I'll type it in the chat.
Okay, this is Fender Guru's video. They're live right now. I'll send you guys over there.
The singer and the drummer didn't get along.
Here, can I?
We really.
That's the problem. Is I can't. Okay, I'll just do audio, I guess.
I got the video going right there.
That's the worst part of that stuff. But you're right about the leaders, and I think that's why I enjoy photography so much, because I'm the solo.
You're the leader.
I'm the leader. I'm in charge. I make the moves. Where I'm in a band, now I have the confidence, even after playing with this other singer, because he was so good and he kind of taught us a lot. But it really makes a difference when you can make the decision.
Everybody jump over there.
It's hard. And it must be, I mean,
There's two of us.
You know, they must still enjoy some.
Me and Jay over
how much
there.
money do they really need?
Oh, they must enjoy playing. They must
have
play,
to,
don't they? You're a musician. Go out and play. The one person who pissed much for me is Billy Gibbons. You know, man who seems to turn up all over the bloody place. You know, turn up to because why? Because he likes his decided.
That's the money. The money's nothing to me.
The money's nothing to me.
So much of it is
I've got so much of it is fine. You know, I'm 70.
Okay, yeah, you do that.
I can see the end game.
I can see the end.
Play.
I better go out.
That's what I do. You know, go out and bloody play LaGrange and stop mucking about. You know, 5 years between records and bloody guys. Actually, I'll go out and I'll play. And if somebody says to me, "Come and play," I'm on it.
All right. Go over to Fender Guru's.
No.
Put it back on.
Put the audio back on.
It just shows you two.
We're getting raided, guys. We've got Johnny Beane and Jay.
Neanderthal.
Johnny Beane.
Nothing better to do.
Too funny.
That's cool.
Cheers for joining us.
Thanks
that's a
for
good
joining us.
point,
708. It's Johnny and Neanderthal.
I'm here because of Johnny Beane right now, because of it.
We're all here because of Johnny Beane.
Yeah. Thank
all
goodness,
his fault.
right? Yeah.
It's all his
He
fault.
decided how that name is going to be pronounced on the internet for me, right? So it's great.
Oh, yes, hit yes, and now we've all taken it up in a stupid way.
It's great. I love it. And you know the Van Halen thing.
All right.
Hi, Terry.
I love Van Halen.
Like Johnny says, I can't talk. It is late, and I do have neighbors upstairs. So what the?
All right.
Now batting. Come on, turn it on. Now batting. Number 22.
Today, didn't echo.
Doesn't that go for you?
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth. We need the echo. It doesn't work. All right. Johnny, roll credits. Please.
Let me out, Johnny.
That's so weird.
Charles Green, Robbie Johnston,
Thank you so much, channel member.
Music Therapy Laz, David Ennis, Thomas Santiago, Mike Neese, Connor Johnson, 5150, Michael Smith, some Dave Dude. Thank you all, executive producers. Who else? Don't forget Charles Green, Fruitcake Tony, Richard Poole, Charlie S., Mike Neese, Mickey Settlemeyer, Joe Christian, Nicole Merzak, Sean Boland, Lenny Lou, Crazy Crook, 678, Bozique, Julia Baldessari, Robbie Johnston, False Flag, David Ennis, Michael Smith. Thank you all. Thank you all for tuning in, joining us with Straturday night. Is that another? Did I get them all? Oh, this is a new one. Hal Face, some Dave Dude, James Gum, 802 Blues, Mr. BHB Jr., that is Bruce, Frag 5150. Jesus rapes me. Bill Williams Spruce, Frank Corcoran, Thomas Santiago, Brian Spalding, Fender Guru, Music Therapy Laz, Ghost BC Rich, Hugh Caldwell, Jim Nicholas, and Connor Johnson, 5150. Thank you to all our channel members. Thank you, everyone. Have a great week and fuck off.
Beautiful.
Good night, John Bale.
Good night, Johnny.
Good night. Good night, Johnny. Good night, Jay. Good night,
Fuck
Paul.
off. Fuck off, everyone.
Good night, John boy.
Good night, Paul.